Well, well, well. Oh, I got a story for y'all today. Even though people have been talking about George Pickens, I am telling you there is something brewing as it pertains to one Dak Prescott. Last year, we saw a lot of people start talking really good about Dak Prescott because of the year that he had, and it was a phenomenal year. But don't get it twisted. Dak Prescott has had other phenomenal years also, and they've been close, and maybe one or two might have been better. But the question becomes that people are starting to talk about, is Dak Prescott out of excuses as it applies to getting to the playoffs, winning a playoff game, and getting to the Super Bowl? And what was surprising to me is that Darren Woodson had some strong things to say about Dak Prescott, as well as Cam Newton. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Man, on a rainy day in Dallas, on a rainy Thursday, with the George Pickens news breaking yesterday, and under the radar, the talk is starting to happen about Dak Prescott because of this defense. We're going to see, and we're going to talk about it. Let's go. Let's get it. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I am the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. This is going to be today's show. We're going to get caught up on the George Pickens thing and him signing the tag. And I want to let you hear Rich Eisen, but I'm also going to let you hear Darren Woodson's advice for George Pickens, which he's already done the first part as we saw yesterday, but we're going to talk about this because we're going to see how this goes. Then, Dak under attack. Woodson had some very interesting things to say about one Rain Dakota Prescott as it applies to winning now. Also, Cam Newton gave his regular say on Dak Prescott, but not only on Dak Prescott, about Jerry Jones and the Micah Parsons trade. We're going to check that out. Then, this is all stemming from the defense. Is the Cowboys defense ready to take the next step? Then, got a little bit of tape on Devin Moore. We might have already looked at some of it, but I want to check it out again. Really like Devin Moore. Then, the rookies have made their way to the Star. And we're going to listen to some interviews from the rookies at the Star. So, that's the story. George Pickens signs the tag. Dak under attack. Woodson on Dak. Cam on Dak. Is the defense ready? Devin Moore film. Rookie interviews. Let's go. Yeah. Good to see y'all again. Let's get this quick roll call, man. I only got about 2 hours, so I really want to get into this. Let's go. Dolores Ennis, first one in the chat. What's going on, Dolores Ennis? Dominique, the neighborhood skeptic. I don't think this is the same old. This is different. This is still different. We're gonna see how it turns out, but I disagree, Dominique. We're gonna talk about this as we go on. It's still different. It's just a different kind of different. Megan Sedone, what's going on? Howdy, partner, True Texan. What's going on, C-Los? What's going on, Jeanette Rogers? John Henry, Reggie TX, what up? Hey, it's that man Bass. What up, Bass? What's up, Cowboy fan Kivo? What's going on? What's up, Marvin Mays? John Jones, he said, what up, G Money? I tell you, it's a New Jack City money talk, and it's obvious money talk when it comes to George Pickens. Money talk, well, I shouldn't say Pickens, David Mulugeta. Money talk and Bullcorn run a marathon. That Sax guy, what's going on? He said, Dak don't need excuses. Yes, sir. Jeremy Betts, we hope everybody's having a good day. What up, Kendrick Thompson? Big Moss Dog, what's going on? Mills, what up, Mills? Timothy Johnson, what's going on? Carl Williams. Now, y'all let Mills, y'all going to have to let Mills hang in today now. This is the conversation that Mills is ready for. Larry Stroud, what's going on? Good to see you. Larry Stroud, I think with that signing, I think it might have stopped some of the drama for now. Blue Star Dallas, what up? He said, you think Pickens will pull a Dak Prescott a bet on himself, show up for training camp? We're going to talk about that in a moment. Not hold out on anything I say, so moving very mature. If you ask me, I mean, he signed a tag, and we're going to talk about that. Because it's actually a point that needs to be looked at. Kate, Miss Matrix, what up? Johnny Wiggins, what up, Johnny Wiggins? Apollo Hanzo, what's going on? Roosevelt Sears, Rena Zanguidi, Newhouse Fam, man. Newhouse Fam, man, come on, man. Newhouse Fam, is that Ruben Bain Jr. that I see? Come on, man. Jimmy Johnson windbreak. What's going on? Boy, you done tripped out, Newhouse Fam. What's going on? Esther Arthur, what's going on? From the Bahamas. What's going on? Derek Strong, Horace. What up, Horace? Newhouse Fam done went crazy today. What's up, Dallas Cowboys? JP the Goog, what up? What's going on? All right, we're about to get this thing started. Football Fanatic. It is the real estate vet straight out of Las Vegas. What is going on? Let's go. Yahoo Network. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Randy Jackson, what up? All right, man, let's kind of get into this first story. We've already kind of talked about this ad nauseum, but George Pickens signed the tag. Now, what does it mean that he signed the tag? I'll be honest with you. I can only assume it means the best. That George Pickens signed the tag. It's the only thing I can assume. He signed the tag. And I'm going to tell you from what my understanding is. Let me do some housekeeping here. I want to put some tags in here. So people come back and watch it on the replay. I'm going to tell you what I think this means. I still got to do a little bit more research. What's going on, Frank Lawrence? Queen, what's going on? He signed the tag. Now, as far as what I can tell, I was listening to Hushmanzada today. And Hushmanzada said something that's very interesting. Hushmanzada said he did not understand why did George Pickens sign the tag early? This is what Hushmanzada said. And this is what I'm leaning towards. This is probably a good sign, or it could very well be a good sign. Because by Pickens signing the tag early, he is somewhat on the hook for coming to these events on the calendar. He is somewhat on the hook for the mandatory OTAs, the mandatory minicamp, and of course, the training camp coming in July. Because Hushmanzada made a very good point. Why would he sign it if he wasn't coming to these events? If I'm not mistaken, he could have just waited right up until the game before the season, signed the tag, and then just came in the first game of the season, and he wouldn't miss no money. And Hushmanzada was saying he didn't think it made sense because he wants, you can tell him like others, they want George to hold out until the season starts. But y'all already know what I said. What did I tell you? If I was George, and I'm truly going to bet on myself, I would sign the tag early, and I would be at every single event. Every single one. Because let me tell y'all, and I think George realizes this. I think George realizes he's stuck between the bed and the nightstand when you fall out the bed. I think George realizes he's stuck between the bed and the nightstand. I think he realizes it. Because for George, they are already using so many things against him. I'm hoping that even David Mulugeta sees this. People are looking for a reason. They're looking for a reason to hate on George Pickens. And so, unlike most folk, George can't hold out the way probably some people want him to, or some people would. For George, it does him better if he actually shows up for everything. Everything. Even if he holds in, it's better for him to show up for everything. And not only show up for everything, and have a great attitude doing it. Have a great attitude doing it. Don't ever let it get to a point to where Brian Schottenheimer says it's Jersey Day and you don't wear your jersey. You wear it around your neck. You stop participating in the huddle. Even if you're not going to run routes, at least get in the huddle. At least be involved with the offense. This seems to be a good sign, unless something else happens, that he actually plans on being at this stuff. Because if he wasn't, it would be no point, because he can wait all the way until the first game of the season and do it right before then. But that don't make sense for George. And I said that before. It don't make sense for him. And I do believe, I'm not believing the Cowboys when they're saying they're not extending George. I believe if George will come in and do everything, even the things they're not asking him to do, I'm thinking that could actually sway the Cowboys. I'm thinking that could sway the Cowboys, and maybe we will get a deal July the 14th. Maybe we'll get a deal. Because you never know by that time. George may go to his agent and say, hey, I want to figure out what it would take to get signed. What kind of money are we talking about? Because my fear for George, as I said on Tuesday, I don't want George to get out of the Dallas Cowboys environment. The Dallas Cowboys environment is too good for him. And I heard people today talking about, yeah, man, George could leave and go get his money, and it don't matter because everybody don't see the Cowboys the same. Yeah, but you don't know how George Pickens sees the Cowboys. I think people are underestimating how George Pickens sees the Cowboys. And there are a lot of people saying this is going to be George Pickens last year. I'm going to choose to not believe that at this point in time. I'm going to choose not to believe that. Silos, he says something here. I like it. He says it's an audition for next year. If he holds out, he's not going to look sharp. There it is. That's my whole point. He holds out, he's not going to look sharp. Sign it. Looks good to other teams. Yes. And that's the issue, Silos. Now, understand, as much as I like George Pickens, understand, and I believe a lot of us like George Pickens. Let's understand. Unfortunately, George Pickens brought this on himself. What do I mean by he brought it on himself? Some of the behavior in Pittsburgh. The Dallas Cowboys were not or not the only ones who are holding the stuff in Pittsburgh against George Pickens. Because, a matter of fact, the whole league was holding it against George Pickens. Because the only team that was willing to, and this is the part that people don't want to accept, but I'm just giving you the cold hard facts. I'm not giving you conjecture or my opinion. When the Pittsburgh Steelers put George Pickens out there to be traded, the Dallas Cowboys was the only team, and if there were others, very few, but they were definitely the only team willing to give up a third-round pick for George Pickens. They were the only team willing to do that. No other team wanted to bring George Pickens in. They said he was bad for the locker room. And a lot of people were like, man, if Mike Tomlin can't deal with you, we definitely don't want to deal with you. Cowboys gave George a chance when nobody else would. And I'm not saying that George owes the Cowboys this, that, or the other because of the chance that they gave him. But they are the ones who gave him the chance. Nobody else would. And I got news for us. For as much as we want to criticize the Cowboys on this, understand this. Name me the other team that George Pickens could have went to and had the same success that he had in Dallas. Name the team. You think about it. There are only a handful of teams in this league that's got a quarterback that can really do what Dak Prescott does. Only a handful of teams. You're talking about who? Mahomes? You're talking about who? Burrow? You're talking about who? I don't know. Buffalo? Josh Allen? You're talking very few quarterbacks would have been able to help George the way that Dak helped him. And I want y'all to understand, I mentioned this on Tuesday, and people don't understand what I'm telling them. George had something happen in Dallas that nobody expected. George had something to happen in Dallas that nobody expected. And I wonder if it didn't happen. Poobie D, tell me what you think on what I'm about to say. Tell me what you think. If CD Lamb doesn't go down with an injury in that Chicago Bears game, and maybe I shouldn't say which George Pickens do we see, but do you believe that George Pickens gets 1,400 yards? This situation in Dallas worked out for George Pickens in ways that only the Lord can work out. I'm just telling us, I don't think we're realizing kind of what happened with George Pickens. Do we not realize what happened to George Pickens was the ideal situation? It's not the ideal situation like George is wanting CeeDee Lamb to get hurt. But we all saw before CeeDee Lamb get hurt, Dak was struggling with throwing the ball to George. Dak was still looking like every single play, the primary receiver was CeeDee Lamb. It wasn't until CeeDee Lamb went down that Dak and George developed that chemistry. George started running the route trees of CeeDee Lamb. Dak got very comfortable with George. And then we saw him go on a tear. So at the end of the day, we got to realize something. The Cowboys gave George a chance when nobody else would. And that stuff in Pittsburgh, it's that stuff that the Cowboys aren't responsible for. It's that stuff in Pittsburgh that actually, see, we're wanting to quickly say, the Cowboys got him in this situation. No, George actually got himself in this situation. George got himself in this situation. Because the reality is, if George didn't have the issues in Pittsburgh, he probably wouldn't be in Dallas. He probably would have got the big deal in Pittsburgh because they wouldn't have let him go. And probably in hindsight, looking at George, they're probably like, man, we just probably should have got him a quarterback, and George would have been our wide receiver putting up 1,500 yards. And we would have paid him $40+ million. Just telling you. This is why George Pickens, he's got to make sure he walks the straight and narrow on this. George can't be messing around trying to appease people, talking about, oh, they doing George wrong, hold out. No, George can't do this. George can't do it. Because all they're going to do is hold it against him. It's called the proverbial rock in the hard place. Big Dal, what's going on? He said, gee, it's going to be funny when Pickens shows up for everything just to buck the narratives. It's risky for him, but if he plays it right, he will get paid. Big Dal, there it is. Big Dal, there it is. That's the point. Real estate vet, he said, gee, people got to let that Pittsburgh stuff go. Now, real estate vet, let me tell you something. I love what you're saying, and I appreciate the super chat. Let's dig in on what you just said now. Now, let me tell you what I tell folks when I talk about this very thing that you're talking about. I'm gonna tell you what I tell people in the pulpit. No. People should let the Pittsburgh stuff go, but they don't have to let it go. They don't gotta let it go, and they don't have to let it go. Let me tell you a little story about a man named Paul in the Bible. Paul persecuted the church for years. Paul persecuted the church for years. When Jesus met Paul on the road to Damascus, and then he had to go down on Straight Street and wait on Ananias, and then he was baptized into the church. Do y'all remember what happened when Paul started knocking on doors of people that formerly knew him? And when he started trying to evangelize, people were in terror of him. And I tell people about this kind of stuff, real estate vet. Just because you change doesn't mean that people are going to so quickly accept your change. They want to see some fruit. And it takes some people longer than others. So at the end of the day, it cannot be an act. If you have matured, then your maturity tells you understand why people are looking at you like they're looking at you. Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, do I believe George has changed? Yeah, it's been a year. But I don't know for sure. But hey, let me tell you something how God allows our faith to be tested. Okay, you say you changed? Show me you changed. Your faith, much more precious than gold, must be tested. What good is a faith that can't be tested? People don't have to do anything. And that's the issue, real estate vet. It's not people that's changed. It's George that changed. So people don't have to do nothing. People don't have to grow up. People don't have to say he was young and dumb. People don't have to say anything. The only one you get to control in the situation, real estate vet, is you. It's you. And so for Paul, people don't realize he didn't get baptized into the church and people immediately started listening to him. No. People had to keep watching him. He had to build that trust. And all of us have to do the same. Don't tell me you changed. Show me you changed. And you don't get to give me the time limit of how long I wait before I say, now I know you've changed. No. You know when you truly know a person has changed? When they go through something on account of the change. Have you changed George Pickens? Show us. Show us. Of course you changed last year. CeeDee Lamb went down. You were getting the ball. I mean, you were getting the ball on a level you didn't even expect. So now let's see you continue. It's not let's see you do it again. See, a lot of people keep saying, yeah, let's see George do it again. No, we don't need to see him do it again. Let's see him keep being who he say he is now. That's all we need to see. Is he still who he is when he said he changed? People got this terminology. Yeah, do it again. No, I don't need you to do it again. No, keep doing what you've been doing. And that's why I like the fact that George signed the tag. I told y'all, what did I tell you? I'm going to go with George on whatever he decides to do. It's his career. It's not like I'm getting any of the money. I mean, it don't matter if I'm going with him or not. But I understand people when you start talking about changes. And this is why I tell folk, and this is what happened to people who change. They get frustrated because the people around them won't accept the fact that they've changed so quickly. Nah, bruh, but that's the test of your change. Your test of your change is, can you deal with people who still look at you side-eyed and are still waiting on you to revert back to what you used to be? That's your test. Because if you start getting all mad about it, oh, well, nobody, people won't give me the opportunity to change. They are giving you the opportunity to change. Because you just have to keep being who you say you are. Now, let me tell you something, real estate vet. That's what I teach people. Stop. No, you can't control people. They get to do what they want to do. They get to do what they want to do. George is the one who was immature. So George has the one, since he's matured, then let him mature. Angie said, in my opinion, I can't care too much for a crash out if this team was okay with having powder sniffers and abusers on the team and they didn't care. Angie, I appreciate what you're saying. But we got to be careful. Don't become what you hate. Now, don't become what you hate, people. Don't say you can't feel it, and you can say what you want to say, but I'm just saying from a teaching perspective, don't become what you hate. This franchise has started to change since Brian Schottenheimer got here. So let's understand what we're watching. We're not just watching the change of George Pickens. We're watching the change of the Dallas Cowboys culture that Brian Schottenheimer has brought in. So if I'm going to say I'm going to have the patience for George Pickens to change, then I'm also going to say, I'm not going to hold against the Dallas Cowboy franchise everything they did 29 years ago. Brian Schottenheimer's came here and he's created a whole different culture. So I'm not worried about the cocaine sniffers. I'm not worried about the drunkards. I'm not worried about the White House. I'm not worried about any of those things because Brian Schottenheimer was not here. This is Brian Schottenheimer's team. This is Brian Schottenheimer's culture. We've watched the change on this team. And that change on this team, let's bring it on home. The change on this team is what has helped George Pickens. The change on this team has helped George Pickens because there is no greater time for George Pickens to be here than now. Because I don't know if he could do it under a Mike McCarthy or a Jason Garrett can handle that situation. No. Let's not become what we hate. We want to give George an opportunity to change. Well, let's make sure we give Brian Schottenheimer and this new regime the opportunity to change. And again, you have to accept this if you are mature. If you were a bad actor, you have to be mature enough to understand. I was a bad actor. And I understand why people are looking at me the way they are looking at me. And that is fine. Because I'm the one that did it. Let's not blame everybody for not accepting that change so quickly. You don't get to determine, and as much as I say, man, I believe in repentance. I believe in change. But I also know I don't get to tell people how long it is before you can start saying I've changed. No, I got to keep being who I say I am. Bottom line, because I'm going to tell you about people. If you were something before, they're always waiting on you to revert back. They're always waiting on you to revert back. It is your responsibility. Let's not put this on the public. It is George's responsibility. George has to keep doing what he's doing. That's all he has to do. I've been saying this. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you've changed, show me. People don't realize when you read the Bible, man, it took 12 years for people to finally start looking to Paul and saying he's different. He's no longer Saul, he's Paul. It took people 12 years. I can tell you in my own walk, nobody believed that I was going, because of the life I lived before I became a preacher and living the gospel of Jesus Christ. Nobody believed that I was who I said I was going to be. And then even when I changed, people didn't believe it. They were always waiting on me to revert back. It took years for people to finally start saying, I believe you. I believe you. I had a lady came up to me and apologized one day. She said, Brother George, I got to apologize to you. Yeah, my name is George too. She said, I got to apologize to you. I was like, why? What you apologizing to me for? She said, because I didn't believe it. When you said that you were going to go and be a preacher and get these degrees and come back and do all of these things, she said, I didn't believe you. I was waiting on you to fail. But I'm proud of you. That's what change is. Change is when you can tolerate people waiting on you to fail. No, you don't get to tell people anything. That's the part we got to all understand. You don't get to tell anybody anything. They are the ones who choose what they want to do. You don't get to tell them what to do. I'm sorry. You don't get to tell them what to do. The only one you get to tell what to do is you. You don't control anybody in any situation. The only one you control is you. And we got to accept this. We don't have to accept it, but it's the truth. George bought this on himself. And I believe he knows it. Okay, I kind of tripped out a little bit when I was in Pittsburgh. I had bad quarterbacks. I mean, the organization was bad. I mean, there were a lot of bad things, and I didn't act the way that I should have acted. Okay, but I'm mature now. I can see what I did wrong. So let me just keep focusing on doing right. I can't worry about people saying this, that, and the other about me. You can't control what people think. So all that have to and what people have to do, no, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't have to. They don't have to do anything. Even when they saw Jesus, they said, isn't this the carpenter's son? They didn't want to hear him preaching and teaching and doing miracles. Man, people don't have to do anything. It's the world we live in. This is the world we live in. It just is what it is. But George will be fine as long as George keep doing what he's doing. Marcus Mancherio, he said, I agree it's a test. He said, you want to see a person's true colors? Don't give them what they want or tell them no. I believe that's all they're doing. Hey, Marcus Mancherio, what good is a faith that can't be tested? What good is it? I know you've changed when you can handle things. That's when I know you've changed. And I'm telling you right now, this move that George made is genius. It's genius. Don't fight the Cowboys. Don't fight them. Do not fight them under any circumstances. Don't fight them. You said you were going to sign a tag. You signed a tag. Good job. Pour hot coals on their head. I said this the other day. Pour hot coals on their head. Now, that calendar that we have, show up. Show up all the mandatory stuff. Even if you limit what you do, show up. And when you show up, you show out. And I'm not talking about dragging and sulking and standing on the sideline by yourself and hand on your hips and out there having interviews talking about this is a bunch of bull junk and the Cowboys are doing. Man, no. That's childish, man. You want to show people you change? Show them. Don't get mad at people when they don't give you the opportunity, and they are actually giving you the opportunity to change. Don't get mad because people are waiting on you to be who you were the majority of the time. This is only a year for George. Let's stop acting like George has been a saint for the last 3 years. I'm all for George, but I understand how this process goes. Man, people got to understand sometimes it takes years. And some people ain't going to ever change their mind. They'll be waiting 7 years deep talking about, I knew it. I knew it. They'll be waiting 7 years. Man, don't worry about them people. Don't worry about proving people wrong. Prove the people right who believe in you. I believe in George. I believe he has changed. Prove me right. Prove everybody right. Prove your parents right. I'm sure your parents. I'm sure C.D. Lamb, Dak, they all know it. All of them. Prove us right. Don't worry about proving people wrong. Frank Lawrence, appreciate the super chat. He said, I hear Caleb Downs speak. He speaks intelligent, proud, excited to be a member of the Dallas Cowboys. Pickens, is silent, not excited to be a Cowboy in 2026. Now, let me come back to that. You said we killed the draft, free agency trade. Yes, sir, it's our time. Yes, sir. And let me come back to this point you made right here. Frank Lawrence, but I'm going to tell you what I appreciate about George Pickens. Silence is deafening. George wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. There is no doubt in my mind George Pickens wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. He wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. He wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. But George also realizes he's damned if he does and he's damned if he don't. He's damned if he does, he's damned if he don't. Don't try to tell anybody anything. It is futility. Don't say a word. The best thing George can do is just do what's right. That'll be all the talking he needs to do. Because this media, I wouldn't tell him nothing. I wouldn't tell him nothing. I told him I was going to sign a tag. Guess what I did? I signed a tag. I don't owe him any interviews. I don't owe him anything. I'm not giving him those things. Nope. George is doing it right. He's doing it right. Go out there, live life, have fun. You said you were going to sign the tag. And he signed it early for a reason. That's all I can at this point, all I can understand. He did it for a reason. And it seems like to me he did it because he has every intentions on being in all of these mandatory OTAs, mandatory minicamp. Seems like he plans on being there. And I'll just tell you the truth. I'm with whatever George is going to do. I'm with it. If George going to do it, I'm with it. If George wants to bet on himself like that, I'm with it. I'm with it, George. Then bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. Faith without works is dead. If George would have decided to hold out, I'd have been with that too. And it'd just been what it'd have been. If the Cowboys would have traded him, then he gets traded. Then it is what it is. But I think George is playing this smart. And I just really would love to know who he's listening to. Because this doesn't sound like David Mulugeta, if you ask me. This don't sound like David Mulugeta. Y'all tell me what y'all think. It don't sound like David Mulugeta. This sounds like Dak Prescott is getting some really, really good advice. it's like he's getting some real good advice. He's getting some real good advice from somebody. So all George needs to do is just keep doing what he's doing. Now, in case you didn't see the video I put out yesterday, let me show you what Darren Woodson had to say about this very situation that we're talking about. And I think Darren Woodson said some great things about this. Darren Woodson on the Trey Wingo show, man. It was a great interview. Now, I don't agree with him on, people keep saying this is George Pickens last year. I'm just not sure about that. I just don't know.
Show up every day.
I just don't know where I am on that. I just don't know why people would think this is George Pickens last year. Why? Why does it have to be his last year? Why? Why does that? Why does it have to be his last year? Why wouldn't the Cowboys want to extend George Pickens? Why wouldn't they? Because at the end of the day, we don't even know what the heck he wants. I mean, I guess it don't seem like to me we don't even know what the heck he wants. And the Cowboys, they cut off all negotiation. But at some point, you watch what I tell you. What George Pickens is wanting is going to come out. But Darren Woodson has some things to say about this. And again, anytime these people like Darren Woodson start talking, I'm always listening to it. Doesn't mean that I necessarily agree with it. But let me see if I can find the point. I thought I marked that one, but I did not. I got two other points I want you to hear.
He may even get a ring out of this or close to a
Okay,
one
so
thing to George.
I got it right here. So this is Darren Woodson giving George Pickens advice. So check out what he says.
Find a way on defense. Offensively, I think they're in pretty good shape with or without George Pickens. And that obviously is dependent on CeeDee Lamb being healthy. But do you think, in your heart of hearts, George Pickens will be there week one when the Cowboys season starts?
In my heart of hearts, I think he will be there.
All right.
Look, if I had any counseling, or if I could say one thing to George Pickens, look, play the 1 year.
Yeah.
Like, you've changed the perception of you, and people are seeing that in the building, right? You probably won't be there next year. He played on a 1-year deal last year. Okay, now it's even extended to 2-year deal, and I think he's out. He'll probably be out after this. But like, man, you've changed the image of who you are. Next year will be a big year. He's what, 26, 25, 26 years old?
He's young. He's young.
He's going to have a big contract. Just do what he did last year. Just show up every day. He may even get a ring out of this or close to a ring or something. He may play at the high, and he played at a level last year where who didn't? His attitude was good. He played at the highest level. Who wouldn't pick him up next year if you're looking for a number one wide receiver? Like, I'm looking, if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I'm looking at him. Like, I'm looking at this type of guy. So, but I mean, Trey, I want to go back.
See, I like what Darren Woodson said. And Tatiana, you have made some of the same points that I've made. Because I get it. You've made some of the same points that I've made. Because I'm not going to go backwards on what I've said about George. George is taking a big risk. George playing on the franchise tag, he's taking a huge risk. He absolutely is. It's a huge risk. George could go out there and get hurt and career could be over. And the only thing he gets is that $27 million. You know, Jackson Smith and Jigba, we talk about that contract. Jackson Smith and Jigba's contract is only, I shouldn't say only. Let me make sure I don't say only when I'm talking about millions. He's getting $69 million guaranteed. But Woodson is kind of talking like Dak Prescott. And I hate comparing this whole situation to a quarterback because quarterbacks are different. But I'm telling you this. George goes out there and balls out. And I think it's going to be a little tougher for George to ball out like he did last year because I believe the Cowboys may run the ball a little bit more. CeeDee Lamb may stay healthy the whole year. Ryan Flanoy's probably going to get a little bit more something. You got to think that if they can work Michael Trigg into the tight end position, because last year, if Ferg would have been able to catch some of them balls over the seam and could actually do some yards after the catch, you just got to think that George nor CeeDee Lamb probably has some of the yards that they have. So you think about Michael Trigg, you think about some of the other offensive weapons they have. I mean, just think about some of the things the Cowboys are going to do. I don't think George has to replicate 1,400 yards. I just think that's going to be tough in itself, especially if CeeDee Lamb is healthy. I don't think he has to replicate 1,400 yards, but I do think he just has to be consistent. He will be more than a 1,000-yard receiver next year. George goes out there and beats more than 1,000 yards. He does not have to exceed. I do not believe George Pickens has to exceed 1,400 yards. I do not believe that. It will be incredible if he does it again now, especially with CeeDee Lamb staying healthy. It'll be incredible. He doesn't have to do that. I think with George, what people are looking at more than anything is the behavior. I think a lot of people already know George Pickens is great as far as the talent goes. They're just waiting on the behavior. And so if George just continues to be who he is, like Darren Woodson said, show up every day and be on time and play and practice and be a leader in that locker room, George is going to put the Dallas Cowboys in a headlock. George Pickens is going to put them in a headlock. If George Pickens stays healthy, balls out, the Cowboys will probably make the playoffs. I'm not telling you they're going to the Super Bowl, even though I think there is a good chance they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Christian Parker and that defense, we're going to talk about in a moment. I think it may have set them back 1 year, but George is going to put the Cowboys in a headlock. Because the Dallas Cowboys are either going to have to poop or get off the pot. Because George keeps being who he is. Come next year at this time, they're not going to have any choice but to trade George or franchise tag him again. And if they franchise tag George again at $32 million, that was dumb on the Cowboys' part because you just gave him $60 million for 2 years, which is dumb in the grand scheme of things. And it would also defeat your argument that you can't pay 2 wide receivers at the top of the market because that would be exactly what you have just done. So it doesn't make sense. But George is going to put him in a headlock. You just got to keep doing what he's doing. Just got to keep doing what he's doing. It's the bottom line. Just got to keep doing what he's doing. And I think he can do it. I believe in George. I believe in George. I think the environment has helped him. And I would love for him to stay in this environment because I think this environment helps him. Bass, that's the whole point. That's the point. You just don't get to control what anybody thinks about you. Man, I don't care how much you change. There will always be people that will always think that you're still the same person. They're always going to think you're the same person. All right, you need to watch the Downs to Business video. Okay, I'd like to check that out. Down to Business video. Okay, send me a link. JCT said, I say he is, but only because he never had excuses to begin with. Oh, you talking about Dak? Dak gets ripped 24/7. Oh, no, you hold them comments. Hold all your Dak Prescott comments. Boy, I'm about to let you, boy, I'm about to let you hear some stuff that Darren Woodson about to say, man. Oh, yeah, hold on now. Superstar said, GP, are you with me? Oh, yeah, he's a Cowboy, ain't going nowhere. That's it. And yeah, and you're right. Like I said, True Texan, George has to understand some of this is because of him. So he just got to be who he is, and he'll be fine. Shoot, Merrill Ray, he said, I'd like to say I made $27 million a year this year, the year when I was 25 and set myself up for even richer. Yeah, I did it catching the ball. Yeah, man. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Dallas is a great place to be for George, and that's the thing that I hope he, I hope he's keeping that in his agent's mind. It's a great place to be for him. It is. Man, real estate vet, appreciate that super chat, my brother. He said, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. If GP gets hurt or knocked on wood doing what he needs to do, then what? Are we going to honor him and still pay him? You know what? Real estate vet, I'm going to tell you something crazy. Just because of what happened to Michael Gallup, I believe the Cowboys would pay George Pickens. I do. I believe they pay him. Because they paid Michael Gallup, man. Man, they paid Michael Gallup, man. They didn't just pay Dak Prescott. They paid Michael Gallup, man. I think because of the kind of person that Jerry is, I think Jerry would. I think Jerry would just do it just because of the kind of person he is. Because he went out there and risked it. And I think Jerry would say, okay, we're gonna extend him. I believe he would extend him. I do. I don't think he'd give him $40 million. But I do think that Jerry would still give him $32, $33 million. I do. I believe he would. Because if you say that he wouldn't, man, you got to tell me why did he pay Michael Gallup, man? Come on. I'll never understand Michael Gallup. I'll never understand it. Frank Lloyd said GP3 a favorite Cowboy. I hope the suits work it out. Man, I'm going to tell you something. I'm still holding out hope that he gets a deal July 14th. I'm still holding out hope. And I think if George comes in with this great attitude, it's going to benefit him either way. It's going to benefit him because I do think the Cowboys will actually still, I think the Cowboys may still extend him. And if they don't extend him, I think he'll get paid next year. Mike said this. He said, wrong, G. George got insurance in the contract. Well, he'll get the money this year for sure if he gets hurt. But we're talking about the long-term deal. I think that's what they're asking, the long-term deal. Hey, lost in translation, you ain't playing. $60 million for 2 years is diabolical, bro. Boy, that is diabolical, man. Shoot. And I tell you what, man, I know right now we're like, man, George, man, taking the risk. Man, George messing around. And I do believe George. Let me tell you the way George Pickens plays. George Pickens plays in a weird way to where it's almost like he can keep himself from getting hurt because of the way he runs his routes, the kind of passes that he catches. He's a bigger body receiver. I think George is going to be fine. But I understand the risk because I've made the same argument. It's a risk. It's a serious, serious risk. But I'm hoping he don't have to make that risk. I'm hoping the Dallas Cowboys say around July 14th, man, let's go ahead and sign GP. Family Fun, appreciate the super chat. He said, GP will not let Mulugeta mess this up for him. Parsons regrets leaving. GP doesn't want the same fate. His brand skyrockets as a Dallas Cowboy. Oh, yeah. I believe you. Come on, he has I think for the 1 year he has insurance. Once he signs the contract, Mike said this, he's going to get the $27 million no matter what happens. We're talking about the long-term money. Yeah, the long-term money. Yeah, I see you, Angie. I see you on JCT. Yeah, JCT, hold them Dak Prescott comments because I got some stuff coming in. I'm going to let you hear this. Frank Lawrence said, "Gee, with the $27 million, GP can buy insurance like professionals." Yeah, and again, that money's guaranteed. Yeah, that money's guaranteed. Did I stutter? What up? He said, "The way people talk about GP is crazy. No one else wanted to trade for him last year. No one called Dallas to negotiate a trade for GP. That's not because of Dallas. That's because of GP." Yeah, that's kind of the point that I'm making too. Yeah, George knows this. He ain't dumb, man. George ain't dumb. Now, if he was on the open market, GP would be getting paid, man. If he was on that open market, shoot, boy, if he was on that open market, he'd be getting paid. What up, D Block? But that's the issue. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Cowboys got him where they want him. Ain't nothing else you can do. Yeah, Mike said this. Yeah, we know he got the injury insurance, and it doesn't matter. He'll get that $27 million. Yeah, Reggie TX, $32 million. He ain't gonna cut it next year as far as the deal goes. But if you tell me he gonna get 27 this year and 32 next year, man, that's $60 million. That's $60 million guaranteed. That's crazy. I don't think the Cowboys should do that. I think they should extend it. All right, I'm gonna go let you hear Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen was talking about this also. And then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna listen to Is Dak Under Attack? Whew. This thing they talking about with Dak Prescott got me. Man, they had me in my feelings today. Robowski, what's going on? He said, "Good move by GP. I was certain Mulagata wouldn't let GP sign that tag before 6:15, creating another poo-poo show. I'm sure talks are still going on behind the scenes." I believe so too. Big Rumbowski, I believe so too. And this is why I think George signed this. Because somebody is giving George some good advice. You know, remember what I told y'all the other day? You can get more bees with honey than vinegar. Because again, man, why did George sign so early? He could have waited till the last minute to sign this thing. I mean, the absolute last minute. And wouldn't have been penalized. Well, now he has to be at these things. So we're going to see how it goes. Yeah, he going to be here this season, I think, D-Block, because I don't think GP going to do anything crazy because too many people are holding craziness against him. Bassett, everywhere we go, people want to know who we are, so we tell them, "This is D-Block, my D-Block. What's going on?" Oh, yeah, is that a song? All right, CeeLo said, "Not only that, if we make a deep run and Pickens has a great year and Jerry lets another superstar go, it's full mutiny and the fans will crash out." Yeah, man. Yeah, I think GP here to stay. What up, Earl Jones? All right, let's check out this thing with Rich Eisen. He's talking about this same situation today.
And
This
Jones
is the day.
basically said, "This is all you're going to get.
That's a lot.
That's it." And if you're looking for more years, George, full on Spalding treatment. You'll get nothing and like it.
I think it went like that, Rich.
I don't know. That's a message to be sent unless the long-term contract conversations were going so poorly. They're like, "We're pulling the plug. This is what we're doing. You're not getting any more. You might as well sign your tender." And then they can talk from this point all the way to June.
What up, Chef Pope? Appreciate
Sign him
you.
a long-term deal. Doesn't mean that he's not going to get what he's looking for.
Fact.
It's just the Cowboys don't want to give him what he's looking for right now is an indication.
You can't always get what you want.
But you get what you need?
Yeah, you can try sometimes.
Okay, you can try sometimes. And I don't know if I assume he's tried. And I assume he hasn't shaken hands on anything because he does have the same agent as Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that part.
There's also another scenario. And it's one that you think is going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Who you? It's in him?
Oh, me.
That's the guy over there.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
That George Pickens now can get traded.
Mm-hmm.
He has signed a tender. And that now allows the Cowboys to trade him.
Nah, we won't do that.
I don't think so either.
I don't think they're going to do it.
What? Stephen Jones has kind of made it obvious he does not want to give George Pickens.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, and Angie, you're gonna love this discussion as we transition. But I've told y'all this before. They can tell me anything they want to. Nah, the Cowboys got visions of sugar plums dancing in their heads, guys. The Cowboys are thinking Super Bowl. They're not letting George Pickens go anywhere. Not this year. I mean, George Pickens going to have to act a plumb fool to get out of here. Cowboys are thinking Super Bowl. I'm telling y'all right now. They can tell you anything they want to about Christian Park in his first year. Nah, I'm telling y'all right now. The Cowboys are smelling Super Bowl. And that's why when we go back to Darren Woodson, did y'all hear what he said about George Pickens? He said that George may be gone next year. He believes George will be gone next year. But George plays the game right. Did you hear what he said? Ring. He may get a ring out of it this year. Nah, I'm telling y'all right now. Cowboys got visions of sugar plums dancing in their head. They're thinking Super Bowl. That's why they're not letting George Pickens out of here. They're not letting Pickens out of here. Shoot, let me tell you something. Man, Michael was doing some crazy stuff last year, man. Shoot, George gonna have to double that to get out of here. I'm telling you now. Shoot. Man, George gonna have to double what Michael Parsons did. Shoot. George Pickens gonna have to bring a date on the sidelines before the Cowboys. He gonna have to bring a date on the sidelines and both of them be eating nachos and drinking root beer floats before the Cowboys let him go. Cowboys got visions of Super Bowls dancing in their heads, man, and don't let them fool you. These people, they're thinking Super Bowl. If you don't think that they're thinking Super Bowl, why do you think Steven and Jerry, since they've been talking, they keep saying, well, nobody anticipated the Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks being in the Super Bowl. Neither one of them went to the playoff the year before. And here they are. Do you know what the Cowboys are telling us? Y'all better pay attention. They ain't letting George go nowhere, man. George going to do some crazy stuff to get up out of here.
A long
He'll do some crazy stuff. Nah, Andrew, but that's my point. You making my point. Let me show you how you making my point. Because George was a part of that offense being so fire. So the Cowboys believe if they can just improve that defense, they're going to the Super Bowl. They believe this. I'm telling you, they believe this. They already know that if they want to go to the Super Bowl, they don't want to subtract George. They want to keep George. Keep the offense high-powered. And they believe they can get that defense to about 21 or 20. They believe they're going. I'm just telling you. Cowboys. Oh, I'm sorry, Edge. Edge. I'm sorry, but hey, you're going to love this next conversation. Edge, the Cowboys got visions of sugar plums dancing in their heads.
Figure guaranteed contract. But as we know, it only takes one team who does. And there's guaranteed multiple teams out there who want a player like George Pickens.
Let me ask you, sir.
No, the Patriots do not want him.
Now why is that?
Well,
younger than A.J. Brown.
Here's what I think. I think we have
definitely coming off of a season far more productive than A.J. Brown.
Interesting.
He doesn't have the same penchant for reading as A.J. Brown.
On the sideline. We don't know what he does in his free time.
That is correct. I think, but you're picking up what I was putting down.
Man, I would gut the New England Patriots if George Pickens went over there. I would gut the New England Patriots. They giving me Gonzalez. They giving me Gonzalez. They giving me a first round pick from 2027, and they gonna give me something else over there in New England. Nah, man. Cowboys ain't letting George go nowhere.
It seems like George might be a little bit more of a headache. And I think we're a team, not sure if you've been paying attention to the headlines lately. We need less headaches these days.
So you want to bring A.J. Brown in?
I don't know. Maybe he'll show up and the fan base will give him a standing ovation.
I think that would be lovely. You perform, you get standing O's in New England.
Yeah, the standard for giving standing O's in New England the bar's been lowered a bit.
Well, you know,
listen, let me just say this, though.
3-year-olds who haven't seen a parade, TJ.
I will say this about what George Pickens should want. I understand you want to get paid. This is a sport where you're one snap away from not playing it anymore.
True.
I want you to get paid, and I want you to get paid generationally, and I want you to get paid in a manner that you're secure. And that's what every player should want. And that's what Pickens is probably searching for. But this does not appear to be the leverage moment for him. And let's just say part of this whole process is under the radar. He has been given permission to go seek where he can go.
Okay.
And somehow, some way.
Not believing it. Not believing it. No. He had that opportunity. Nope. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I don't believe it. Cowboys gave George Pickens the opportunity to go out there and search for a trade. I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. I do not think it is happening as far as the Cowboys trading George Pickens. I don't think it's happening. I believe they are saying what they meant. They have no intention on trading George Pickens. I'm telling you right now, I don't think they're doing it. Yeah, Rich a wild boy, Bernard Fields. I agree with you. No, they're not letting it. Not this year. Not this year. No, they got visions of sugar plums dancing in their head. Cowboys are seeing a Super Bowl. That's what they're looking at. They think Super Bowl right now. And did I stutter? Let me tell you, the comment you made, you don't need 2 elite wide receivers. But if you got them. But if you got them, though. But if you got them. If you got them, keep them. And just get that Super Bowl defense you need. Ain't no use in getting rid of him. Nah, ain't no use in getting rid of George. Shoot. Nah, Nah, George is here to stay, and I'm telling you. Devin Mills said you can average 30 to 35 a game and keep teams to no more than 20. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can keep any team to 20, man. We're going to beat everybody. Hey, Devin Mills, let me tell you something. Cowboys will go undefeated if they can hold every team to 20. Because it's going to be hard for a team to hold the Cowboys to 20. Even when the Cowboys are playing bad, they can get 20. Freddie El Chuco, what's going on with you? You ain't lying, Rob Bowski. All these sports shows love talking about the Cowboys because it brings eyes and ears. But then they talk about the Cowboys like they didn't even watch one game of theirs in 2025. Yep. Yeah, man. Eisen on one right now.
Every single information woman or man in the NFL business has not caught wind of it. That it is totally under the radar. And that he does have a spot where he could wind up and get paid a lot of money the manner that he wants. I know it's not a What's More Likely Friday. What's the likelihood of that? That nobody knows that he's been allowed to shop around and figure this thing out.
Yeah, I mean, that's unlikely.
Okay. So then let's go to...
Ain't happening.
He thinks this is the moment that he can force that situation. I don't know if this is the moment where he can.
See, I think Rich Eisen is way off. See, this is what I love about George. But Frank Lawrence, I do think you're making a point that George could come out and make a statement. George could come out and make a statement, and it could maybe shut some things down. But even if George make a statement, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean it's true. But at the end of the day, I think Dak Prescott is telling George Pickens the right thing. Don't stop loving football. Keep your love for the game, because your love for the game will get you exactly where you want to be. I'm not sure George is trying to do any of the things that people are saying, leverage is... George knows he doesn't have leverage. I'm sure he knows it. He's not dumb. He doesn't have leverage. And he knows he can't act a fool. Because he already knows what they're going to hold against him. No. I just think George is saying, I'm about to go play football. Bottom line. I just think that's what he's saying until he proves me wrong. I think George Pickens is simply saying, I'm just going to go play football, man. And I'm going to let what I do on the field take care of all of this. Because next year, I will have leverage. See, next year is the year George gets the leverage. Because the Cowboys will have to poop or get out the pot. They either paying him $32 million or they're trading him. Bottom line, if they trade him, he hitting the lottery. Bottom line. He hitting the lottery. In the story, George is hitting the lottery next year, and nobody can stop him. Nobody can stop George from hitting the lottery next year. Nobody. Nobody. Put your faith in God. Pray. Don't play not to get hurt. Just go out and play the game. George going to break the bank next year. You watch what I tell you. He going to break the bank. There's no doubt about it. He going to break the bank. Freddie Morales, I love every time you say this. Any team calls me about a trade for Pickens, you want Pickens, give me every single one of your picks in the next draft. Shoot. First to the next or the other first. I'm telling you, I'm the same way. I'm going to wreck your draft. I'm wrecking your draft. You want George Pickens. I'm telling you up front. I'm destroying your draft. Earl Jones said, gee, is it just about money or championships? I think it's about both. I think it's about both. And I think that's why George wants to stay in Dallas. I think it's about both. I think George sees that he can get a chip with this team. I think he sees it. I think George believes he can get a chip with this current Cowboys team. Dak, him, CD, Williams, what they've added on defense, what they've added in the draft. I'm telling you, I believe George believes they can win it. I believe he believes they can win it. I believe he believes it. He gonna break the bank. You watch what I tell you. He gonna break the bank. Yeah, he gonna break the bank. You watch what I tell you. And he gonna do both. George is gonna help the Cowboys this year, and he gonna get paid. You watch what I tell you. Yeah, but if they re-tag him next year, Freddie, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If you told me that once I make it past this year, the Cowboys are going to come back and pay me $32 million, shoot, I'm in like Flynn. $60 million for 2 years? Shoot. Man, I'm in like Flynn. I'm in like Flynn. I ain't playing. Tatiana said, I wouldn't want no picks. I would want to win this year. That's why trading him. Yeah, no. This year, they're not trading him. It's over. They're not trading him, Tatiana. I guarantee you. Tatiana, I'm telling you. This man is going to have to do something very bad to get traded by the Cowboys. I don't think it's happening. They got visions of sugar plums dancing in their head.
Because the Cowboys do have the ability to keep him for 1 year and go for it with Dak after a draft where they have hit it, in their estimation, and a lot of others, including me right here with their first round selection, that they have hit the defense well enough to let the offense with this kid go off. And George Pickens doing it again, I don't think a second franchise tagging is in anybody's best interest.
Right.
It would be highly expensive. I don't even know how much more expensive. And I just think him staying put as well also gives an indication that he's not the trouble, Chris, that you are saying you don't want a piece of by having him in New England. That there is some form of reputation refinement that would help him by staying put, balling out. There's CeeDee Lamb. There's Javonte Williams. That's Brian Schottenheimer dialing it up. There's Ferguson at tight end. There's your offensive line, solidified more. Better defense. That's Dak. Go to the NFC Championship game, George Pickens. Ball out and get your bag then. And I understand this could be the worst take ever because Pickens already has this deal, and by the end of the show, he's going somewhere else and he's generationally enriched, and he doesn't care about reputation refinement. But I don't know if another team would take him because of what you're saying, Chris.
Yeah. So franchise tag this year is 27.3 essentially for wide receivers. If you're tagged a second time, it's a 120% of the previous year, so that's $33 million.
That's a lot of money. Yeah. Certainly when you're paying CeeDee Lamb just slightly more.
We're not worried about the CeeDee Lamb deal. We got void years. We're not worried about that. That's stupid talk. When it comes to George and CD, I don't want to hear no salary cap talk. In actuality, that's what those void years are for. I don't care nothing about that. That's just a bunch of malarkey right there. I don't want to hear it. They can afford both of these wide receivers. If you wanted to, you could easily sign George Pickens, extend him, put them void years in there, and give him a good upfront signing bonus, and you done with it. Stop it. I'm not listening to that talk.
So that's why the Cowboys are maybe franchise tagging him and saying, let's go 1 year at a time. Because if he gets traded, that means the Steelers say, wow, he's incredibly talented. Don't remember Mike Tomlin said his message for a young George Pickens was do the routine things routinely?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Spectacular stuff we see. Do the routine things routinely, you'll be better. And then at the end of the day, they're like, we can't have him here anymore. Would rather have DK Metcalf.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Older and more expensive.
How'd it work out?
And the Cowboys, if the Cowboys off of that coming into this season trade him, what sort of indication does that give? Does it matter if he's going to make, $40 million a year for a long-term agreement? All it takes is one, as you said.
See, and this is the part, and you can check the rest of this out on your own. But this is the part that people are missing. It really doesn't make sense for George Pickens to go somewhere else and make $40 million where there is a state income tax, where there is a millionaire tax. It doesn't make sense for George Pickens to go somewhere else and make that money when he could stay here for less money and make more money in the long run than he would going somewhere else. That's the part that somebody has to get through, and I'm sure they're trying to do that. You got to get that through to George Pickens. Everybody is making this about getting the most dollars. No, it's not about getting the most dollars. It's about getting the smartest dollars. Where do I go if I leave Dallas that I still maximize my dollars? Because you mess around and go somewhere, and I'm telling you, like San Francisco, the Rams, Seattle, any of those East Coast teams, bro, you getting killed in taxes, man. You getting killed in taxes. Not to mention, cost of living is just ridiculous in a lot of those places. Heck no. This isn't about getting the most dollars. It's the smart dollars. Get the smart dollars, man. Get those. And just make sure your guaranteed money is right. Because you never know. The Cowboys could trade you like they did also Diggy Zoo. Man, make sure your fully guaranteed money is right. All right. So George Pickens signed the tag. I want to move on now because Dak Prescott is under, and I don't want to say Dak is under attack. JCT Slice, where you at? Boy, we about to get to the good part now. Boy, we about to get to the good part, man. Man, let me let y'all hear what Darren Woodson had to say about Dak Prescott. And I gotta admit, man, I was blown away when I heard him start saying this. Let me get my times right here. All right, I'm going to skip to two places. I'm going to let you hear Darren Woodson twice. First, we're going to skip to where Woodson talks about Dak Prescott. Then we'll come back when I talk about the defense. I'm going to let you hear what Darren Woodson said about the defense. What did he say about Dak Prescott? Listen to this.
Does Dak have anything to?
Uh-oh, Angie, you just don't realize how close you are to this conversation. You don't realize how close you are. You said Dak never had a shutdown defense. Well, listen to what Darren Woodson is about to say.
Tighter in that fourth quarter because you're not giving up the big, touchdown plays. You're kicking field goals, and these are tighter games going in the fourth quarter than what they were last year.
Does Dak have anything to prove left in your mind?
Hell yes. Tighter in that fourth quarter because you're not giving up the big, touchdown plays. You're kicking field goals, and these are tighter games going in the fourth quarter than what they were last year.
JCT.
Does Dak have anything to prove left in your mind?
Hell yes. He's got to win the big game. Yeah. He's got to win, and I get it. It's not always his fault, but yes, in the end, that's how they're remembered, right?
Yeah.
He's got to play outside of himself to get to the championship.
You just look at his numbers last year, and they were phenomenal. And again, he was great when CD went down and Pickens stepped in, and they really had a.
Now, I want you to listen to what he said very carefully. I want you to listen to what he said very carefully. I'm going to play it again. Tell me, what do you hear when what he says? He says something that is just, man, this is, in a sense, it's almost diabolical what he's saying. But I know what he's saying. Just listen.
Dak have anything to prove left in your mind?
Hell yes. He's got to win the big game. Yeah. He's got to win, and I get it. It's not always his fault, but yes, in the end, that's how they're remembered, right?
Yeah.
He's got to play outside of himself.
Now, did y'all catch that? Woodson is saying that Dak Prescott has got to play outside of himself. Now, I love Darren Woodson. He knows way more football than me and definitely played more than me. And can still beat me in football. But I actually believe this is where the Cowboys have got to fix this. I don't want Dak Prescott playing outside of himself. Because I don't believe that's how quarterbacks win Super Bowls. Quarterbacks win Super Bowls playing within themselves. If my quarterback has to play outside of himself, that means that he has put the whole weight on the team, no matter how bad the defense is, no matter how good the defense is. He's got to play outside of himself to make up for all of the shortcomings. No, in actuality, because that's why John Elway was struggling. John Elway stopped struggling when the Denver Broncos said, no, we're going to let you play within yourself. We're going to get you a running game, John Elway. We're going to get you a running game to where you don't have to throw the ball 35 and 40 times a game. We're going to get you a run game to where you only have to throw the ball 25 times a game. John Elway, we're going to get you a defense on the other side of that can take away the ball, that can get stops, that will give you more opportunities to score so that if you do get stopped from time to time, you're still going to get those extra opportunities. I don't want my quarterback playing outside of himself. I want him to actually play within himself, because within himself is where the calm in the storm is. That's what the calm in the storm is. If I get him playing outside of himself, that's where all of the chaos is. I don't want him playing in the chaos. I want him playing in the calm within yourself. I don't want you to do anything that you can't do. I don't want to force you to do anything that is outside of your repertoire. No. I want to put you in a situation to where everything you do well, you do well. That's the situation that I want you in. Because I got news for us. Newsflash, Darren Woodson. I love Darren Woodson. Troy Aikman. Name me the game that Troy Aikman in 92, 93, 95. Name me the playoff game. Name me the Super Bowl that Troy Aikman had to play outside of himself. Because I can tell you when Troy played outside of himself and he got his brains beat in. In 1994, when they played against the San Francisco 49ers in that playoff game, Troy Aikman played outside of himself, and they got tore up from the floor up. They got mopped. They got mopped up there in San Francisco. Troy Aikman threw 4 interceptions that game. Bro, you don't come into a game where Deion Sanders is out there playing and think you're finna throw it all over the park. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. No, Troy and the Dallas Cowboys need to play within yourself. The Dallas Cowboys, 1992, 93, 95, those wins were not predicated. Those Super Bowl seasons were not predicated on Troy Aikman playing outside of himself. Emmitt Smith, that offensive line, and that defense always allowed Troy Aikman to play within himself. Always allowed him to play within himself. Troy didn't have to play outside of himself, other than when he got concussions. Troy didn't have to play outside of himself. And when you look at successful quarterbacks, when you look at Tom Brady, go back and look at the Super Bowls. Go back and look at the Super Bowls of Patrick Mahomes. Man, let me give you one of the greatest examples that we have. I'm going to show you 2 different snapshots of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts goes into the 2022 Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts goes into the 2022 Super Bowl. The 2022 Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts had to play outside of himself. Throwing, running, you name it. Jalen Hurts had to do it all. And guess what happened? They lost. In 2022, the Philadelphia Eagles lost because they had Jalen Hurts playing outside of himself. But do you know how they won in 2024? Jalen Hurts played within himself because he had Saquon Barkley. He had a defense that could put tremendous pressure on the quarterback. And what did Jalen Hurts do in the second Super Bowl? Jalen Hurts played so within himself, he barely had to do anything. And they won the Super Bowl because defense wins championships. Defense wins championships. Defenses will help your quarterback play calmer than you could ever imagine. When you got a defense that can stop people, turn the ball over, hurt people, knock quarterbacks out of the game, your quarterback play with a different swagger. When you got a running game, when you got a left tackle, when you got an offense that is a well-oiled machine, the quarterback doesn't have to throw the ball 50 times to win, you're going to beat a lot of people. Now, we don't need Dak to play outside of himself. We need him to play inside of himself. Play inside of himself. The best playoff game I've seen Dak Prescott play. Kellen Moore, Dak Prescott, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Man, Dak Prescott was on something. All I can tell you, it seemed like Dak Prescott was on something against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't understand how you had that game playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and you came back against the San Francisco 49ers and laid an egg. That Tampa Bay Buccaneers game is one of the best games I've seen Dak Prescott play in the postseason. The defense played well. Dak played better, but he played within himself. Dak unleashed his full repertoire, and they won the game. They got against San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers defense. Darren Woodson is about to talk about that. Defense a lot tougher. It's a lot harder to play within yourself. It's a lot harder to play within yourself when you come up against better defenses and then that you can't score like you want to. And then they can score. It's tough. No, you want to figure out a way that Dak plays inside of himself because that's where the calm is.
Like to get to the championship.
you just look at his numbers last year, and they were phenomenal. And again, he was great when CD went down and Pickens stepped in, and they really had that connection between Pickens and Dak last year kind of remind me of how Dak fell into a groove with Amari Cooper for a couple of years, and they were in lockstep. They hooked up. Right. But to your point, like Dak has been exceptional in the regular season. We all know that the postseason has not been his forte. And the more that happens, I just go back to that game a couple of years ago when the Packers walked in there with a rookie quarterback in Jordan Love, or a first-time starting quarterback in Jordan Love, and basically said, no, that ain't happening.
Yeah. What happened in that game, Trey? What happened in that game?
Turnovers,
right? Offense didn't come to play at all. At all. I mean, it took them until the second half to get started. Now, sometimes when you couldn't get in the playoffs, hell, I've been on this. It took the Green Bay Packers when Brett Favre used to play us. It took him damn near 3 quarters to get going.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
At that time, we already had the lead and we were in control of the game, right? That was kind of the same thing with Steve Young. Sometimes when you play a good defense in the postseason, your offense is going to sputter. The underlying factor are the other 2 phases. Can your defense help and get stops? They played that game against Green Bay with the Packers when the Packers came to town. They rushed for over 200 and some yards. They could not stop. They couldn't get the ball back to their offense to get back on track. And that's a problem. I think that's where I think they finally figured out, look, we got to fix this. Yeah. It can't be all about the hoopla and we love our offensive guys. We got to figure out the defensive side of the ball to help us win these games.
How much do you think?
There it is right there. That's the statement right there. That 2022 defense was fool's gold. We knew going into that game, that 2022 defense could not stop the run. We knew it. We knew it couldn't stop the run. And what did the Green Bay Packers do? They came in and ran the ball. We had Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard was coming off of a broken leg the previous year, and I still don't think Tony Pollard ran right that entire season. I think I really thought the Cowboys made a mistake that year. I was so mad when they franchise tagged Tony Pollard. I felt like they should have never franchise tagged Tony Pollard coming off that injury, but they did. He just didn't run the same. And the other thing the Green Bay Packers stuffed us on was that once they took away CeeDee Lamb, our best wide receiver after that was Brandon Cooks. It was over. It was pretty much over. The drop-off from CeeDee Lamb to the rest of the receivers in 2022, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Was that 2022? It was embarrassing. It was absolutely embarrassing. The Dallas Cowboys were nowhere as near. That doggone defense was a fool's gold defense. Green Bay exploited that defense every which way but loose. Every which way but loose. And so, again, the Cowboys, you got to get them. You got to get the defense. What up, Ty Howard? JCT Slice. That's why Josh Allen continues to lose. It is. See, they make Josh play outside of himself. You got to keep him within himself. Yeah, Kevin Ellis, his protection was top tier. Tush push was unstoppable. Yeah. It was the perfect storm for Jalen Hurts. He played within himself. Now, I don't want my quarterback playing outside of himself because I think a lot of times when you do that, you make mistakes. So let me let you hear Cam on Dak. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to come back and talk about is the defense really ready? And then we're going to hear Darren Woodson again talking about the Cowboys defense. And I'm telling you how people are starting to look at the Cowboys. They are starting to look at the Cowboys. I'm telling you right now, the expectations for everyone is that they are expecting the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl. Mills, you're right. Dak can't beat good teams. Defenses do. Yeah, you're right. Dak by himself can't beat good teams. He can't do it. Patrick Mahomes by himself can't beat good teams. Tom Brady by himself can't beat good teams. Tom Brady never beat a team by himself. Never. Even in the Seattle Seahawks game, go back and look at the interception that Butler made. Even in the Atlanta Falcons comeback, the unsung hero of the Atlanta Falcon defense for Tom Brady is the defense. Go back. You're right. He can't do it. No quarterback beats a team by himself. I have yet to see a Super Bowl where a quarterback beat a team by himself. If it ever could have been done, it was Jalen Hurts in 2022, I believe it was, and he failed because you can't do it by yourself. If your defense don't get some stops, if your defense don't take away the ball sometimes, there is no way you're going to do it. No quarterback beats a team by himself. He needs a team to do it. Bottom line. And that's what Darren Woodson is talking about. What are the other two phases of the game? And even in that Green Bay game, let me tell you something. Michael Parsons said something the following year, and it makes a lot of sense. Michael Parsons said if your defense can't endure 2 turnovers by your quarterback, then you don't have a Super Bowl defense. Michael Parsons said that. I'm not hearing the turnover situation. Your defense, if you got a Super Bowl defense, they should be able to endure a couple of turnovers. Absolutely. Gravedigger said defense wins championships. Offense sells tickets. It doesn't matter how good your offense is. If you can't stop the other team, then you have lost the battle before the fight begins. That's the problem right there. Man, you got to have a defense. Man, let me tell you something, Mills. I don't care if that defense, Green Bay, I don't care if that defense the Green Bay had was ranked. That was 2023. I don't care if that defense was ranked number 32. They had our number, bro. Shoot, they had our number. Shoot, tell them, Big Dal. Man, we saw quarterbacks throw 3 picks and win in last year's playoffs. Big Dal, Michael Parsons said it. Man, if you can't endure at least 2 turnovers, you don't have a Super Bowl defense. You don't have a Super Bowl defense. Man, get out of here if your defense can't endure 2 turnovers. Shoot, you ain't good enough. JCT/G, Dante Hightower forced a fumble on Matt Ryan, flipped the game. Defense wins championship. What are the other 2 phases of the game doing? And the Cowboys just haven't been able to master this. Even when Romo was here. They sucked at this. All right, so let me just tell you. Y'all remember we've been talking about this. Let me tell you how crazy people are. People are so crazy as it pertains to Christian Parker. And now what the Cowboys have done in the draft. Before people have seen Christian Parker even coach 1 down, before they've even seen 1 play from this defense, people are saying that Dak Prescott, or at least Cam Newton says, because of what they did in the draft, Dak Prescott has no more excuses. And I think even Darren Woodson is leaning in this direction. We're not even going to see what the defense look like. Can we at least see? Can we at least see what the defense look like? I mean, I'm struggling with this behavior. Yes, I'm anticipating a Super Bowl this year, but can we at least see what the defense looks like? Can we reserve the right to say, wait a minute, man, this defense ain't going to be as good as we thought. It needs a year to get itself together. Let me tell you right now, there's people who are not doing this. They're basically already saying that with the defense the Cowboys have that they haven't seen. Now let that sink in. The defense the Cowboys have that nobody has seen yet.
Do it immediately.
They're acting like that the Cowboys have already fixed the defense and the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. This is Cam Newton talking about Dak Prescott has no more excuses. Check this out.
Not only do we immediately get a player, but those draft picks could get us, I'm talking top Pro Bowl type players.
Who won in the trade? Micah Parsons or the Dallas Cowboys?
They were upset when Micah left.
Might I remind people what the Dallas Cowboys got in the trade of Micah Parsons? They got Kenny Clark. They also got the Green Bay Packers first-round draft pick in the 2026 draft. Oh, they also got Green Bay Packers 2027 draft pick. Okay, cool. Over these last couple of months, even during the NFL season, what What has Jerry Jacoby Jones and Stephen Bartholomew Jones been doing? They've been making moves.
They've been jigging.
Because understand, it was the utmost importance for them to focus on one unit and one unit only. That's the defense. When you analyze the moves that's been made, you got the Quinnen Williams kid from the Jets that's going to be a bona fide game changer. Yeah. Kenny Clark is no slop either, but he also's not enough. And also, they acquired Rashawn Gary from the Green Bay Packers during the offseason, quietly. In the draft pick.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows the dominance or the capabilities of the ceiling of said individual, Caleb Downs.
Everybody said he's worth the advertising. They say he's the only person in this draft that could potentially have and wear a gold jacket.
Call it what you want.
That's big.
Barring any type of injury, that defense will look a little different. Headed by first-time defensive coordinator Christian Parker. That's the only thing that I got a little skeptical.
Because you got a lot of toys. Do you know how to drive?
Do you know how to drive?
You just got your license.
You got a lot of shiny pieces to the puzzle, but do you know how to align them right? Jerry Jacoby Jones has literally played chess while everybody else playing rock, paper, scissors. He had a plan. The Dallas Cowboys is causing everybody to say, can this be the year? Now,
they always say this now.
They always said it, but they didn't have nothing to back it. We are eliminating excuses for Daquavius Prescott. We done signed the best field goal kicker that money can buy.
That's true.
We got somebody that's able to beat one-on-one coverage in CD Lamb. And we will, by the year start, we will have George Pickens signed, okay? We done made it a priority to get you some help on the defensive side. So now, we ain't gonna have excuses of why we ain't getting all type of rings and things for the Dallas Cowboys. Do I make myself clear, Dak?
This is where people are with a lot of this stuff. Now, I got to pump the brakes a little bit. For as optimistic as I am that the Cowboys can make this Super Bowl this year, but I also say no later than 2027, we got to get it on the field. We have to get it on the field. We got to see what it looks like on the field because we've struggled the year after year every time we get a new defense coordinator. So we got to get it on the field. I got to see it on the field, but I don't know. I mean, can you be worse than last year? I mean, I guess you could. I guess you could. You're hoping that you're not going to be worse than last year, but I think they're going to be better. But a lot of people are saying that the Dallas Cowboys defense, and let me ask y'all, how good do y'all think the JCT, he said, baby, that's an insane take. He said, are you saying that about Lamar Jackson? Yeah, man. These expectations are high for the Cowboys, boy. They are high for the Cowboys from people on the outside. So, Rod Curry, he said, the offense got to put up points on the board. Yeah, I agree with you. Rod Curry, I still want them to put up 30 a game. I think if they put up 30 a game, they're going to beat a lot of people. So now we got people over here. I was listening to these guys talk on ESPN the other day. And they're talking about, well, I thought I had my clip, but it looks like I got the wrong clip. But what they've been talking about is how good the Cowboys defense is going to be. A lot of people are talking about this. How good will the Cowboys defense be? I mean, just listen to some of this stuff that people are saying. I mean, some of the stuff these people are saying, man. I mean, I ain't trying to. let me let you hear what's this. High expectations.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And by the way, I'm going to sit here in late April and say it. The Dallas Cowboys are not only going to win the damn division, they're going to be a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And how many times have we heard that in Dallas, right?
A lot.
Oh, my God, this is Dallas's year. You know what? For all the criticism that Jerry Jones has taken, and believe me, a lot of it is deserved, when this team takes the field, and the way they're constructed right now, new look defense, you add those guys to that defense, you add a pass rusher with twitch, you add the guy in the back end, the Dallas Cowboys are going to score a ton of points on offense, that team is going to be a Super Bowl contender, and they will win the East. I love it.
Yeah. Man, people are excited about Christian Parker and his defense. They really are. I mean, I'm excited too. I want to see what it is. But, man, a lot of people. Frank Lloyd said, G, in the live chat, this is the most NFL fun ever. Yes, sir. Man, you know we got to keep ourselves entertained until football season starts. We're going to do our best, man. We're going to do our best. I appreciate everybody. Dominique, he said, I can't stand these media folks. They say that mess on purpose because it doesn't happen. It gives them a chance to clown. Dominique, this is the point right there. They are the ones piling these expectations on the Cowboys. And so for me, Cowboys don't listen. Just keep your nose just keep grinding, man. Just keep grinding. Got a lot of work to do. Ice Cold said, we playing CD and GP3 and winning the Super Bowl. I'm telling you something, man. I think we got a great shot if we can pull it all together. I think we got a great shot because the offense is already there. It's not like we got to do it offensively and defensively. We got the offense. As long as Brian Schottenheimer can evolve it, get it to be a little bit more potent. Don't kick the ball as much. I know we re-signed Brandon Aubrey, but I don't want to pay Brandon Aubrey to kick field goals this year. I want to pay him to kick extra points. Extra points only is what I like to see Brandon Aubrey do. I like to see more touchdowns and field goals this year. But let me go back to Darren Woodson. Darren Woodson also makes a very interesting statement about the Dallas Cowboys defense. And Darren Woodson is starting to believe also that the Cowboys got a great opportunity right here. Check this out.
Play at the high, and he played at a level last year where who didn't? His attitude was good. He played at the highest level. Who wouldn't pick him up next year if you're looking for a number one wide receiver? Like I'm looking, if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I'm looking at the guys who taught me. They actually taught me the game my first year. Caleb Downs is going to come in. He's been with Nick Saban. They've been running intricately.
Tony Casillas, Chad Hennings, Tony Hill. Yeah. The list went. Tony told
defense. You get them two boys ready, and you have them. I think the two biggest acquisitions this year. Just show.
All right, so this is the part I want you to hear. Now, Woodson knows a thing or two about winning Super Bowls. And he says these are the two greatest acquisitions for the Cowboys over the last 2 years. Listen to who he says.
Show up every day. He may even get a ring out of this or close to a ring or something. He may play at the high, and he played at a level last year where who didn't? His attitude was good. He played at the highest level. Who wouldn't pick him up next year if you're looking for a number one wide receiver? Like I'm looking, if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I'm looking at him. Like I'm looking at this type of guy. So, but I mean, Trey, I want to go back. You named a lot of guys on this draft this past year. In the last, I don't know, last week or so, you know, a lot of these players that came in. I think the two biggest acquisitions that they've made, plus Downs coming in,
right,
was Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to tell you why. I think this team last year, they're not ready. They weren't ready last year. New guys coming in, two really good football players, but they weren't ready. They were trying to get their feet wet, trying to understand the defensive scheme, how to play it and all. They're going to have an entire offseason with Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark. They're going to get better as far as backups and depth at that position. You want to win championships, you want to be known as a tough defense, you get them two boys ready, and you have some backups that come behind them who bought into the system. I know we lost OC, but you bring those type of guys in, you watch and see what kind of team that they have. And I've always been a big believer when we were winning championships, the guys in the locker room who built the culture with the offensive line and the D-line. And when those dudes can play and they're tough and they get after your ass, you're a totally different team.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, one of the things, and we talked about it when the Cowboys were winning in the 90s, there were 7 or 8 defensive linemen they rotated in.
Tell me how serious you are about the Super Bowl by showing me who your defensive and offensive tackles are. Bottom line. Show me who your offensive and defensive tackles are. And I believe Darren Woodson is on to something. Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark will be in year 2 with the Cowboys. I think they're going to be much better. Rombowski said, thankfully, Downs' brain is going to have the secondary in check with their pre-snap assignments now. I agree. And Rombowski, you know what's going to be so crazy about Downs? Everybody keeps saying that this guy is a savant, man. He's going to know where everybody is supposed to be. Yeah. The key to this Cowboys team going to the Super Bowl this year, it's going to be the defense. We already know the offense is good enough. We got to have the defense. Got to have the defense. If they can get this defense clicking faster, they're going to be good to go. Lisa Worley, what's going on, Lisa? Got to get the defense going. If they can get the defense going, it is going to be all good. Got to get the defense going. They got to get more stops on defense, give the offense more opportunities to score. And the Cowboys, what they got to be able to do is go into enemy territory, because this happened to him a lot last year. Shotty played different on the road. He called the games different. Seems like he was playing not to lose on the road. Gotta get a defense to where you can be aggressive. Your defense dictates how aggressive you can be. When you got a defense that can stop people, you throw all that conservative crap out the window. You throw that out the window. Because when you have a defense that can stop people, you're not worried about even making a turnover. Because if you make a turnover, you'd be like, oh, don't worry, we get the ball back. Okay, that didn't work. We got something else we're going to do on the next drive. We'll get the ball back. They can't score on us. Man, when you can do that, you can win a lot of games. Tatiana, I had to go see who we were playing again. Let me see if I can find that. I'm telling you, it's going to be tough. We got, but you know, Tatiana, think about this, Tatiana. We say this every year. We say that when we first see the schedule, we think the schedule is going to be tough. But schedules got a way of working themselves out. Because you never figure in injuries. You never figure in players actually not playing good within the schedule. We never figure in a whole lot of things. We just look at the schedule and go, oh, it's going to be tough. And then it turns out it don't actually be that tough. Anybody and everybody can get beat. Any and everybody can get beat. Kevin Edwards said they went through the same issue with Romo. It took him getting hurt for them to beef up the line. I mean, I think we may have the perfect storm brewing for the Cowboys. This is why I'm telling you they're adamant about not trading George. They don't want to change anything from the offense last year other than getting better. And it looks like the Cowboys are already putting together a backup plan for the offensive tackle situation. The Cowboys don't want to change anything on offense. They just want to keep that what it is. And the only change they want on offense is for it to be better, because they all agree they left some points on the field. Now they just want to get that defense together. The schedule is going to release mid-May. So we got about 2 weeks for the schedule. That's going to be a big deal. But again, you know, my question is for us is, will the Dallas Cowboys defense be ready? Because a lot of what we're going to do is going to be predicated upon the defense. Defense wins championships. We've already taken care of the part where the offense scores points. We already got an offense that can score points. We already know this. It's a no-brainer for us now. Offense scores points, defense wins championships. That's Bear Bryant, not me.
When his boss can't get to the big meeting, Jimmy just asks Copilot in Microsoft Office.
Oh, sorry about that. We've already taken care of that part. So we just have to get this part about the defense together. And I'm pretty excited about the defense. I really want to see what Christian Parker is going to be able to achieve in his first. I really want to see what he's going to be able to achieve in his first season. I really do. What is he going to be able to achieve? All right, let me go over here. I think we can kind of look at some of the Cowboys. Cowboys 2026 opponents. We're going to know the full schedule mid-May. Let me see. We don't know the exact thing, but this is kind of where we're going. So we already know we're going to play the Giants, Eagles, Commanders, home and away. We're going to have the Arizona Cardinals. If we don't beat the Arizona Cardinals, that's a crying shame. I'm sorry. This year, we better beat the Arizona Cardinals. Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to be a tough out. Jacksonville Jaguars going to be a tough out. We better beat the Tennessee Titans. Baltimore Ravens going to be a tough out. And then, of course, we're going to have the Giants, the Eagles, and the Commanders. We need to sweep a couple of these teams in our own division. We need to sweep a couple of these teams. We might be able to sweep the Giants. I think the Giants are going to be struggling starting out. We should be able to sweep the Giants. And if we split with the Commanders and the Eagles, that's already 4 wins. Arizona will be 5 wins. Titans will be 6 wins. So we'll have to figure out how do we get 6 more wins out of that schedule. That schedule's going to be a barn. Oof. Boy, that schedule's going to be tough right there, man. And that schedule right there going to be tough. And this ain't all of it, but that schedule's going to be tough. But again, we say this every year about teams being tough. And then when we get to these teams, they don't be as tough. Because last year, we should have won more games. Those teams were nowhere near as tough as everybody thought they were. We should have won more games. Problem was our defense was so trash. The defense was so trash, man. The defense couldn't stop a high school team barely. I mean, it was pretty doggone bad. It really was. And so my question to everybody is, do y'all really think the Cowboys defense is going to be ready? Do we think our defense is really going to be ready? That's the $1 million question. Is our defense going to be ready? Because I'm not worried about our offense. Even if Brian Schottenheimer calls bad plays per se, I'm not worried because we got, as JCT Slice says, we got 4. We got 4. I'm not worried about us scoring points. Dak is going to score points. It don't matter if I'm the offense coordinator. We're scoring points. We're scoring points. Dak's going to score points. Dak Prescott could call his own plays and he's going to score points. He's going to score points. Points is not our problem. Our issue is, will the defense be better? Poobie D, he said after week 4, he think we'll be going. Now, Poobie D, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think we have smarter players. I think we have smarter players this year. And I don't think they're going to be waiting until Thanksgiving to get the defense down. We got smarter players, so I'm a little bit more confident. I'm confident that we're not going to be last. Kello V, appreciate that super chat. He said off topic, but I don't understand why these cats be trying to get all the money from the Cowboys like they don't know how to spend it correctly. Kello V, because we're in an environment now where people are always trying to get all the money they can. It's just the way, it's the game, man. It's how it is now. It's the game. Love it, like it, or hate it, it's the game. Man, people ain't trying to, people ain't trying to pull the Tom Brady and give these team-friendly deals, man. They in it to win it. So, but I'm gonna say this, man. We're gonna see how this all turns out, Kello V. But I don't think George Pickens is trying to get all the money people think he's trying to get. I don't believe it. I think he would like, anybody would like to get all the money they can. I don't think George Pickens is looking for all the money he can get. I just don't think that's what he's doing. I don't think that's what he's doing. George is one of these people, man. We might be shocked, man. George might sign a team-friendly deal. I actually, like I said, all I want is the guaranteed money if I'm here. And Bernard feels I agree. We got smarter coaches too. I think we got smarter coaches. But they got to hit the ground running this year, man. All this old we ain't showing nobody nothing. Nah, not this year, bro. Y'all got to get this defense going in camp, bro. From the moment y'all get in OTAs, y'all got to get this thing going. Y'all got to get this. Nate Newton said one of the greatest statements I heard last year. Nate Newton said one of the biggest mistakes that the Cowboys made, and I agree. He said one of the biggest mistakes the Cowboys made. They waited until the first game of the season to try to implement the defense. Do y'all remember all that generic talk, Brent? Oh, yeah, we got an advantage on teams. They don't know what we're doing. We ain't going to show nothing. We going to do this. We going to do that. We just, everything going to be vanilla. Man, you should have been getting them dudes ready, man. Should have been getting them dudes ready. They should have been implementing that game plan from the moment they hit Oxnard, California. And I think they're going to do that this year. I don't think they're going to make that mistake this year. They're going to get that. They're going to have that defense off the rip. They're going to have that defense going. Off the rip. You watch what I tell you. Off the rip, that defense is they're going to be implementing everything with Christian Parker. So they're going to have to start implementing all the systems every single chance they get. So, Tatiana, you said, do I think they're going to be ready? I think they're going to be ready earlier. I think they're going to be ready earlier. If we look at what happened to them with Zimmer, when we look at what happened with Matt Eberflus, it just seemed like they were never ready with Matt Eberflus. I mean, when Marshawn Nealon passed away, I mean, they had a flash. They dedicated the season to Marshawn. They dedicated those games to Marshawn Nealon. And I said it last year. They should have dedicated the whole rest of the season to Marshawn Nealon. And they didn't. And they didn't. And so it was like after they had that bye week, man, they came back and started getting mollywopped. Just crazy. It's crazy. Just crazy. And so in the grand scheme of things, I think this defense, Poobie D, you're saying you think the defense will be ready after week 4. Yeah, I think they'll be better quicker this year. I really do. Yeah, Tatiana, I mean, that was the highlight of the whole season, Tatiana. Unfortunately, Marshawn Nealon passing. But I think they'll be ready faster this time. I think that this defense, they got some smarter players. I mean, you're talking about Caleb Downs. You're talking about some of these other players. And Christian Parker, I believe, has a connection with these young guys. And Darren Woodson said something that I think is vital. Buying into the program. Buying into the program. And I think you're going to see where a lot of these players, and a lot of times people buy into a program when they buy into a person. And I think they're going to buy into Christian Parker. And that in itself is going to help them buy into the program. What up, Bobby's Hobbies Train Hunter? He said this is going to be our year. Man, I'm telling you, I've been saying it since last year. He said even the 1990 teams had a great backup quarterback. Who do we have? Man, let me tell you something. Let's not sleep on Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell is definitely better than Joe Milton. I think Howell is pretty good. I do. I think he's pretty good, especially with the weapons that we have. I think Howell, and I hope we don't have to see it, but I think Howell can play. I think Howell can play. And I think Greer could have been okay had they let Greer compete, but they didn't let Greer compete. They're gonna let Howell compete. They didn't like what they saw with Joe Milton, I believe, last year. All right, guys. Let's switch gears.
Here we go.
I think I may save my Devin Moore stuff for tomorrow. I got a whole lineup of these players, man. I've been out here trying to find tape and stuff on some of these players. I think we're going to do the Devin Moore stuff tomorrow. Thank God it's Friday. We'll do that tomorrow. I want to scoot over here to DallasCowboys.com real quick. The rookies came in. Have y'all heard them talk yet? Cowboys going to be talking to a lot of the rookies. So I wanted us to kind of check out what they're talking about. Cowboys have brought in the rookies.
Back here at the Star with Cowboys third-round pick Jayshawn Barham. Jayshawn, thanks so much for the time. Just first day here, getting in the building and seeing this facility and what it's like. Yeah. What are your first impressions of Dallas?
I mean, it's a good vibe. It's kind of what I got from my top 30 visit. Family environment. Everybody loves ball, so that's what we on.
When you were here on that 30 visit, getting to meet with Christian Parker and Brian Schottenheimer, what was that experience like for you? And did you get the sense that, hey, maybe Dallas has some interest in me here?
I mean, I got it from the 30 visit, but it was more so off the ball. And then after my visit, I got on with Coach, and then we started talking about inside back and stuff. So I feel like that kind of helped too. But definitely Coach Parker, he a Virginia guy. Kind of felt like we had a chemistry going on, so I think that helped.
You mentioned Brian Schottenheimer said,
man, look at that dude hair, man. Man, I could only dream of hair like that. That boy got some locks, don't he?
In one of the press conferences that they're going to start you out at inside linebacker. Yeah. What about that portion of your game excites you about being able to play that at the NFL level?
I mean, just coming downhill, landing that thump, bring that force, power, just causing chaos pretty much. Being able to blitz from off the ball, covering guys, stopping the run. So I feel like you could do a little bit more from being in the inside. And, that's what we're going to start.
Rodney Evans, I'd love to see it.
And obviously you don't want to necessarily take away from what you can do on the outside as well. Have you talked about a plan of making sure that you kind of get a little bit of everything, even though, hey, we might start you out inside at first?
I mean, yeah, we talked about it, of course. We're going to see as like practice in the season go on, how it play out, but we definitely had talks about it.
When you talk to Christian Parker specifically, whether it be today or earlier, what has he said to you of, hey, this is how I feel like you can fit in this style of defense?
I mean, just like my intensity, my aggression that I play with, I feel like the style of play, my style of play, I feel like that kind of fit the way he coaches and like the way they preach in this building. So I feel like my aggressiveness, my style of play going to change. Yeah.
Playing for Wink Martindale at Michigan, an NFL coach and an NFL defense, how much do you feel like that's going to prepare you for your rookie season?
Oh man, I feel like that helped big time. Just it's kind of similar playbooks, different names and stuff, but I feel like it's almost the same thing. You got your same type of calls, different name, like I said, but I feel like Coach Wink definitely helped us to get to this level.
So you got rookie minicamp coming up the rest of the week, then OTAs and mandatory minicamp.
Yep.
When all that's said and done, before you head to your first training camp, what are you hoping to prove to this team and maybe even to yourself going into your rookie season?
I'm going to just work. I'm going to be a guy that's going to work, be wherever the team need me pretty much. That's what guy I'm going to be.
Jayshawn Barham, thanks for the time.
All right, here at the Star, Nicole Hutchison joined by
Yeah. All right, let me read with Sandy here. Yeah, Sandy Knight, I kind of summed that up what you said. Yeah, after Marshawn Kneeland, they dedicated the games to Marshawn Kneeland after the bye week. But then it wasn't a bye week I don't think the Cowboys had. The Cowboys were going through all those games or whatever they were going through, and I can't remember what game it was, but man, when the Cowboys came back, man, they were flat. They got a break after one of those games, and they were flat after those games. They were flat after those quote-unquote games that they dedicated to Marshawn Kneeland. They came back flat. I can't remember which game it was, but they came back real flat. And I think it was the first game they came back, was it the Detroit Lions? The Detroit Lions whooped them up, and then it was the Minnesota Vikings. Frank Lawrence, he said, G-Band commentators are high on lining up Michael Trigg, Ferg, GP3, CD, and Flournoy. Man, Trigg is going to be nice, man. Man, Trigg going to be nice. The issue is will Brian Schottenheimer use him the correct way? That's going to be the question. Will he use him the right way? Ron Bowser said, I feel like Flus is a DC that coaches against aggression, but worry about your assignment first. Yeah. 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 And as a matter of fact, you know, it's kind of ironic, Bernard feels we got beat in that Cardinals game. Marshawn Kneeland played in that one, recovered the touchdown in the end zone. And then it was right after that game, which is just mind-blowing. Right after that game, passed away. Just terrible. And again, we dedicated the game after that to him, and we did it for about 3 games? Shoot, after that, man, we got tore up. Should have dedicated the rest of the season. All right, man, let me tell you something. This right here, 4th round pick, Devin Moore out of Florida. This is my favorite player they got in the 4th round.
Cowboys
second favorite in this draft, Devin Moore. I like Devin Moore.
Rookie cornerback, Devin Moore. Talk about one. This is your first day here. What's a story that illustrates?
Man, this dude don't look no older than 18 years old, man. Yes, sir. Man, he look young.
What this experience has been like for you?
Yeah, just walking through the halls, I was blessed enough to see Shamar James, former Gator. So, we came in the same recruiting class together. Just seeing him here, knowing that there's guys of that caliber and that character around the building, it's a blessing to be here.
What have those conversations been like? You and Shamar obviously getting to work together.
Yeah, we excited. Like I said, we came in the same recruiting class. He's a guy I learned from. He learned from me. So just being able to, see my brother again and, learn from him because he's been through it last year. So.
You had mentioned that you had a formal interview with the Cowboys at the Combine. Obviously, I'm sure you've had conversations with Christian Parker. What have some of the conversations been like in terms of how they plan to use you?
Yeah, the main thing is versatility. I could play man, I could play zone. I'm smart enough to know the whole secondary. And, I'm versatile, so that was the main conversation.
Talk about how you feel those traits kind of best fit this defense and what they're trying to do.
Yeah, the NFL is a very complicated game, so you can't run man the whole game, you can't run zone the whole game. So you got to mix it up and have players out there that are able to play both coverages and, give the QB and offenses different looks. So just being able to, have the mental capacity to know all that and also performing on the field.
I remember listening back to you when you got drafted. You said the Cowboys are getting the best cornerback in this draft. What makes you the best cornerback in this draft?
Yeah, I had some injuries in college, so, I feel like that had me very overlooked and slept on. But, just the size, speed, the ability to bend, tackle, and, the length. And, I feel like I've been overlooked.
You had actually one of your most, I'll say, productive seasons in 2025. The first double-digit game that you played in 2025 as well. What are you looking forward to in terms of proving how durable and reliable you are this year?
Yeah, just staying in the training room, prehab and rehabbing, the same routine that I developed throughout my years of Florida, adding on to it, continue to add to it, and, just getting out in the community, figuring out who the vets go to for resources of that nature, to keep their body and take care of their body like pros.
Well, you're joining also a room with Darren Bland, who also led the league in interceptions a couple of years ago, Savone Revel, who's now going into year 2. What are you looking forward to joining a room with those guys?
Just picking all their brain, I want to learn, the mistakes they made, the good things they did, learn it all, be a sponge and soak it all up.
I'd love to hear. Best of luck to you. Excited to cover you this season.
So thank you.
Man, I'm telling you, I am expecting big things from Devin Moore. I'm expecting him to be a starter. I really am. I'm expecting this dude to be a starter. I'm expecting him to get game, and I'm expecting him to eventually be a starter. I am, man. If this dude can stay healthy, I think he's going to be good for the Cowboys. This may be finally one of those cornerbacks. He's tall, good size, good speed. Maybe to do a few things for the Cowboys.
All right, here at the Star, Nicole Hutchison joined by 4th-round pick LT Overton out of Alabama. First off, welcome. We're excited to have you.
Appreciate it.
Obviously, you've had your first day here in Dallas at the Star. What's this experience been like for you?
It's been nothing but a blessing. Not everybody is like 1% people in the world that get to get this opportunity, but putting that star on your back just means something different, especially being American, being on.
Thank you, Dallas Cowboys. Thank you for getting a real defensive end. Thank you. Thank you for not just getting all of these little hybrid linebacker edge rushers. Got us a guy that when we run the 4-3, I think he's going to be able to set the edge for us because we're not running 3-4 all the time. We needed a guy like this. Bama boy, too. Bama boy. So we already know he's used to playing against competition.
America's team. you get a lot of eyes, but it just make you want to work even harder.
Tatiana said
Alabama, where there were certainly a lot of eyes. What part of playing at that university prepared you for playing for the Dallas Cowboys?
Just Alabama being Alabama, the standard of college football. Like, you got everybody in the country that has you as a target. Like, you might as well get ready for that because that's the Cowboys as well. Yeah.
Talking about, your film, the way that you were used at Alabama, you moved along the line of scrimmage. What part of that versatility you feel like translates best here in Dallas?
Definitely just my being able to play every position.
That's a Bama boy,
I'll be able to support any from a wide 9 to a 0 tech.
Well, Buster said you can block
any position that needs that, I'm there. And I love that the versatility part. I'm able to learn not just outside but inside. Like, there's so much more to it. The quickness, the steps, all that.
Has Marcus Dixon or Christian Parker talked to you a little bit about how they plan to use you?
No, not yet. I haven't got to meet them yet.
All right, well, we're excited to figure that out. Talk about what do you feel like best translates from your game that you feel like is NFL ready?
Definitely my run-stopping ability. Like, I've put my pride on that ever since I stepped on campus at Alabama. I know that's one of their big. You're not going to be able to rush that passer unless you stop that run first. And not that just alone, but my power as well. I'm a big power rusher. Love getting guys off their feet, making them be able to have to move.
See, I like the phrase that I forgot who I got this from, but somebody said you have to earn the right to rush the passer. And the way you earn the right to rush the passer is stop the run. If there is one thing the Cowboys have shown us, they are determined. Otito Ogbonnia, LT Overton, they already had Quentin Kenny. They are determined to stop the run this year. They're determined, and I think they're going to do it.
Anchor and just quickness as well.
What part of your game do you feel like is underrated?
Definitely pass rush. I see media sometimes too. Everybody thinks I can't pass rush, and that's okay. Like, that's why I like coming in underrated. People not really having them eyes on me until they quarterback getting sacked.
You're joining a room with Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark. What are you looking forward to about joining a room like that?
And just straight knowledge. Like, them some big time guys, and you have guys like that around. Like, as soon as I came to Alabama, guys like TK, D-Law, them dudes is pouring into me. So just knowing I'm coming to this next level, I just know that different type of technique, effort, and really like camaraderie that we're gonna have, it's gonna hit a little different.
What are you looking forward to proving here in the Dallas Cowboys for your first year?
Bass, I got news for you. Even if he showed Bane his barber, bro, they ain't got the same hairline, bro. They ain't got the same hairline. Tatiana, that was the dude we got from the Los Angeles Chargers, I believe. Yeah, we got him doing free agency. Otito Ogbonnia. That's his name. Yeah, Otito Ogbonnia. Yeah, he's a handful.
Honestly, I'm just as valuable as anybody on that 53-man roster. Put me anywhere you want me at, and I'll show you.
Straight like that. LT Overton out of Alabama, welcome, and we're excited to see you this year.
Appreciate you.
Here at the Star in Frisco with Cowboys' 4th-round pick out of Penn State, Drew Shelton.
Man, Otito's that type of dude. He seemed like he go to the club and get into a fight. Otito might tear the club up with you. Otito might tear the club up with you, man. Straight out of Bama, too. He tear the club up.
Drew, thanks so much for the time. Your first day here in the building, just walking around the Star, getting to see the facilities, meet some of your new teammates. What's this experience been like for you here on day one?
Man, it's just been really cool.
This guy right here is the guy that the Cowboys got to put a scare into. Angie said Clippers hate Bane hairline. Angie, I'll be honest with you. Bane would probably have to get the kind of haircut I got. Because, I mean, what you gonna do? I mean, I'm not being funny. I used to cut people's hair. I still cut my own. I used to cut my son's hair. They done got fancy now. They going to these barbers with them precision cuts and all them doggone, they be spraying your hairline on. I guess, they spraying hairlines on today. But I don't think that would look right on Bane. Bane would just have to do it like me. Just cut it off and don't even sweat it. Now, I do a little slight edge up for what I have, but nah, Bane, it ain't gonna do no good, man. You just have to cut all that stuff off. Just buzz it out like me. It'll look a lot better.
This is a place that has so much history, and to meet all of the new teammates and everything like that, it's just been very fun so far today.
I used to
You've
cut
had
hair,
a lot
Andrew.
of connections
I've
with
seen
this
a
team
hairline
in
like
one
that
way or
before.
another, kind of over
Nah,
time.
ain't
Trained
no-
Terrence Steele in the past. Connor Riley, your new offensive line coach, recruited you out of high school, and you played with Tyler Booker at IMG Academy. Is it almost somewhat fulfilling to be able to have some familiar faces as you come into the building?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have someone you can look to that you know a little bit. That's definitely going to be helpful, especially being a rookie.
And what have the conversations with Coach Riley, Brian Schottenheimer early on in your time here been about where they want you to play? Brian Schottenheimer talked a little bit in his press conference about, hey, you're going to be in the mix with a lot of these guys competing at left tackle, but they can see you moving into guard and playing on the other side too.
Yeah, I mean, I've had minimal talks with Coach Riley about like what it's actually going to look like, but
yeah, Miss Matrix, Dak too in love with hair too. Dak need to go on just. If you ain't gonna go get a hair transplant and kind of put them right there back, just, man, forget it, bro. Just go and cut it. When you make Dak money, I'm sorry, the last thing they're worried about is the hair on your head, bro. Your bank account look like Dak Prescott, man. Your hair look like Prince, even if you ain't got no hair. Forget it, Dak. Just go on, man. Saint, man, he don't need to see Dak's barber, Miss Matrix. If anything, they just need to cut that mess off. Dak still have too much hair if you ask me.
I'm just looking forward to coming in and competing every day.
And when it comes to competition, just over the course of your football career, even dating back to high school if you want and in college, what's been your approach to competition? When you know something is coming and you're competing for something, how do you approach it?
Just, with the mindset to go out there and be the best version of yourself. I'm not necessarily competing with, another person. It's got to be the best version of you that's going to go out there on Sundays. So whoever that is, that's what it's going to be.
And when it comes to flexibility of playing guard or playing on the other side of the line, we played left tackle at Penn State. How comfortable do you feel like you are doing those different things and moving around in different spots that maybe you haven't spent as much time in?
Yeah, I haven't gotten many game reps on the other side or in guard, but during training, I feel like I've closed that gap a little bit, and I'm ready to do whatever the team needs.
And over the next 3 days of rookie minicamp, then you've got OTAs and mandatory minicamp after that. Before you get to training camp, what are you hoping to accomplish as you accommodate yourself to this team?
Yeah, I got to dive nose first.
Malcolm, he going to need some work, bro. Yeah, he going to need some work. Yeah, we've seen the tape on him. They said nobody get past him, and on the very tape they show, somebody got past him. I don't even understand who picked that tape out.
It's in the playbook.
Yeah,
that's going to be number one
work.
thing. You can't go out
But
there
I think
and
he'll be
play
fine.
if you don't know what you're doing. So just, figuring out the playbook first.
Drew Shelton, Cowboys 4th round pick. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
Back here at the Star in Frisco, now joined my new Cowboys tight end, Michael Trigg. Michael, thanks so much for the time.
Michael Trigg. Schoonmaker, it was nice knowing you, bro. It was nice knowing you. It's over. It's over now. Y'all remember that song? It's over now. Was that Luther Vandross? Who sing that old song? I can't remember who it is. It's over, bro. Yeah, I'm talking about the Luther Vandross one too. It's over. Hey, Tatiana, you already know. Tatiana, you already know what time it is. This dude is here straight swag, straight Bobby Brown cousin. It's over with. It's over, Schoonmaker. Bobby Brown cousin is here. It's over, bro.
Time to start your first day in the facility today, just walking around, seeing what this looks like and being in the building. What's this experience been like for you on day one?
Honestly, it's just a blessing just to have this opportunity, be around all these great people, great coaches, and the great guys that had coming with me.
What was the draft process like for you leading into it, from pro day to the combine? You worked with Linda Wells, the Cowboys tight ends coach, a little bit at your pro day. What was that experience like, and how, or as you reflect on it, was the draft process as a whole?
The draft process, it was another great blessing, an opportunity to be in. I went to the combine, got to meet a lot of great coaches, great mentors, be around a lot of great guys.
Shoot, and you ain't
even at my
like
pro day with Coach Wells, just being more hands-on.
You don't know me, days.
Other scouts just really reflected. You could see how the intent he has and how he carries with his own players.
What did you learn from Coach Wells while you were working out with him there in Waco?
just being intent. One thing he harped on was putting your hands on somebody. That was a big thing he liked to say.
And then being an undrafted free agent, obviously you still are in the league, but is it motivating or frustrating to not have?
Triggs' arms are so long, they go beyond his pockets, man. Boy, this dude got some serious arms, man. Man, this dude could literally scratch his knees, bro, without even bending down. This is the kind of tight end you want right here. Dynamic, freak tight end, man. And he look like he turned the club up with you. Yeah. See, you need these kinds of players, man. You need these dogs on your team right here, man. Shoot, Trig, man. If the Cowboys get Trig where they need him, shoot. See you later, Schoonmaker. And eventually, I see you too. I see you later too, Ferg. Shoot. Man, still gonna be different. Especially they gonna line him up. They'll probably move him out to the slot every now and then. Shoot. Man, Bernard feels so he can tie his shoes standing up. Hey, man, this kind of tight end you want right here.
I've heard your name
this
called.
Boy's serious, man.
Maybe something that motivates you now going into your rookie season?
Yeah, I say more motivated. Just putting a chip on my shoulder, honestly.
And what do you feel like you can show this team and this offense about what you can do?
Just my versatility, being able to play multiple positions and being able to block through the gaps like they need me to do.
Have you watched a lot of Dak Prescott play? I mean, typically.
Ed, you said he got on black Air Force Ones. Ooh,
some of the routes that you would run at Baylor would be up the seam, big athletic catches in traffic. Is that something that you're looking forward to?
So recently I have. I watched him in a lot of Jake Ferguson.
I'm like, hey, George Pickens,
hey, see you later, but I definitely think I can help.
When you watch the tight end tape, whether it be with Ferguson or any of the other guys, what stands out about how the Cowboys and Brian Schottenheimer have liked to use them in this offense?
Man, y'all need to turn the AC up in this thing, man. These dudes up in here sweating, bro. What kind of lights y'all got on these dudes? And you know, he's one of those. These players are going to be older now coming out. They're just going to be older because of NILs and different things like that. If I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking he's 25. So hey, man, he passed teenager. He grown man up in here, bro. Shoot, he grown man. He ain't playing. This dude a grown man, bro. Yeah, he different.
Just how Jake Ferguson has 82 catches. I feel like that's a lot of catches for a tight end. I mean, just the volume of catches he gets and how involved he is week to week.
So you got rookie minicamp coming up the rest of the week, and then OTAs and mandatory.
Man, his hand's not even in the frame, man. Boy, I love it. His hands are not even in the frame. That's how long this man's arms are. This is crazy. Man, y'all need to turn the AC on, man. These dudes are sweating hard up in here, man.
Mini camp, when all that's said and done before you go to training camp, what are you hoping to prove while you're here?
Just that I belong, and I'm trying to stick in the league for as long as possible.
Michael Trigg, thanks so much for the time.
That's it, thank you.
Trig. Shoot, man, that's Trig, bro. That's Trig. He said that's that soul glow again, Hey, man. Hey, man. You have to keep that AC on also when you had them Jerry curls, bro. You couldn't be in the heat with them things, man. Mess around and dry them things up. It's over with, bro. It's over with. Bass said, make it make sense. They got these boys sweating. It's either like that or that man's like to be well moisturized. They don't know what's going on. They got these dudes out here sweating. Freddie said, boys, offense about to be illegal if Triggs as good as these highlight film showed, man. Whew. See you later, Schoon. Schoon, see you. Nice knowing you. See you later. It's over for you, bro. It's over. It's over. It's absolutely over, man. I absolutely love it. What's going on, Mr. PR Blue? Man, I'm telling you, man, I think Cowboys, man, you know, it's funny when you look at these guys outside of these football suits. And this is the thing about football that is so fascinating. Man, you see a dude outside of a football suit and you wouldn't even think twice that this dude could even play football. I mean, you look at Devin Moore. Man, Devin Moore don't even look like he barely out of high school. And when you watch the film, man, I'm going to do a video on Devin Moore tonight and release it tomorrow. Let me just show you when you see Devin Moore on the field, this dude, when I tell you this light-skinned brother can play, man, when I tell you this light-skinned brother can play, this dude can play. Check him out. This dude can play, man. This dude can play, man. this dude can play. Some range on him. Yeah, he got good recovery speed. He is the best cornerback in the game. I believe it. I believe he believes it, and that's good enough for me. Yeah, he can play. I'm gonna put together a whole little reel on him, man. This dude here, man, this dude can cover, man. You know, I said this about the Cowboys. I'm gonna show you this roster before we get out of here. I told y'all one of the things I want the Cowboys to do. I wanted the Cowboys to approach free agency and approach the draft like Demarion Overshown was not going to be here, like Savon Revel Jr. was not going to be here, as in health-wise, and like Deron Blinn was not going to be here. And even Donovan Ezeraku. I'm telling y'all right now, man, the Cowboys did exactly that. And when you look at this roster, man, it's some people on this defense, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow. It's some people on this defense, they need to be worried. There are some people on this Cowboys defense. They need to be worried. I'm telling you right now, man, some of these players really need to wonder if there isn't a chance that they may actually get beat out. You got Jason Barham. These dudes are going to be ready to play sooner than later. They are going to be ready to play sooner than later. And is it possible that they could move into some of these spots where these other players are? Are they that versatile? I'm telling you, man, the Cowboys went and got them some depth. Of course, they got the winners, Jason Barham, Malachi Lawrence. I mean, could he play inside? Can Malachi play inside? Can Jay Sean play inside? I'm just saying, man, the Cowboys went and got them some depth. Can he play outside? Could he beat out Donovan Ezeraku? Does Donovan Ezeraku have something to worry about? I mean, the Cowboys went and got some serious depth. They really did. And so, man, this defense, it looks so much better on paper than it did last year. So much better on paper. Last year, man, we had these guys from ICU. A lot of these guys were from ICU, ex-first-round players. And then turned out, and some of that could be about Matty Flus. They couldn't do what they were supposed to do. But this, man, this right here is looking different, man. This is looking different right here. And hey, Angie, I'm telling you now, because I know you've been wondering and saying the Cowboys need a little bit more as far as some veteran experience. They're still out there hunting. They're still out there hunting. You watch what I tell you. They are not done. They got a couple more opportunities to bring in some players. As we get to post-June 1st, there are going to be some unexpected cuts. When we get to the end of the preseason, there will be some unexpected cuts. The Cowboys are going to have 2 more opportunities, and I'm sure they're going to be scouting other teams to see who are these possible cuts are going to be. Not to mention they'll probably bring in somebody from the UFL. They always seem to do it. It ain't over. The Cowboys are not through building this team. They are not through building this team, man. I'm excited about it. I am excited about this Dallas Cowboys football team. I'm not telling you their defense is going to be top 10. but it has to be better than last year. It has to be better than last year, man. It has to be better than last year. And I do think one of the unsung heroes of this Cowboys defense is going to be D. Winters. Man, D. Winters balled out last year with 101 tackles. Played 17 games, 101 tackles. Man, D. Winters is going to be nice. D. Winters is going to be nice for the Cowboys. I mean, I really think that helped the Cowboys on so many levels. You got Rashawn Gary, veteran. D. Winters, veteran. Overshown, it's his year to step up and show out. And then, of course, we got Donovan Ezeraku. We'll see what that does. But we'll see if somebody pushes Donovan Ezeraku. We never know. Somebody might push Donovan Ezeraku for that spot. And I hope the Cowboys allow them to do it. Push him. Push him. And I'm telling you now, I could see situations. Deron Bland moving to the slot. Devin Moore being outside. Savon Revel Jr. Hey, bro, you better turn it up this year. You better turn it up. You got Darian Kendrick and Kobe Durant. And they actually got Kobe Durant as the starter right now over Savon Revel Jr. Savon Revel Jr. will get his game, though, because they want to develop Savon Revel Jr. But, man, Savon, bro, when you get your opportunities, you better show out. You better show up and show out because Kobe Durant is a playmaker. And he's looking at this as, this is my time to shine. Malik Hooker, bruh, your days are over. Your days are over. You got Caleb Downs. We're going to see what that looks like when they go to the 4-3. Bro, your days are over because it'll be Caleb Downs and Jalen Thompson out there on 4-3s and cover 2s. Your days are over, bro. Even P.J. Locke going to push you hard. Even P.J. Locke going to push Malik Hooker, bro. His days numbered, man. His days is numbered. This defense, man, they got some very good pieces on here. Very, very good pieces. And again, I think they're going to add some more. There are still some free agents. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Man, there are still some free agents out there that people are kind of like, why are these free agents still out there? I'm holding out hope, too. I'm holding out hope for Jadeveon Clowney. I'm holding out hope. Once the market says Jadeveon Clowney ain't getting $10 million, we're going to see if Jadeveon Clowney winds back up in the Cowboys training camp. Brandon Cupp, he said Trigg will beat out Spann, Ferguson, and Schoon. Well, I'll tell you who I believe he's beating out. I think he's beating out Schoonmaker. Schoonmaker, whatever it is. Trade him. Hey, Young, hey, he about out of here, man. We redid his deal. And I think they took away some of the money, but it's over for him, bro. I think it's over. Frank Lawrence said D. Winters on paper had 100 tackles. It was 101, I think. But he had high graded in another less known stat called stops. Yeah. Yeah, man. Frank Lawrence. Yeah, Young, I want Clowney back, bro. But I think once the market says you're not getting $10 million, because I think Clowney thought he was going to get that kind of number from the Cowboys, because that's what I think they had him at the value. Now, he ain't getting $10 million. Cowboys can probably bring him back for $3 million again. I see him right back with the Cowboys. I'm ready. What up, Ryan Haney? He said, G, bro, going to shout out this year. His sophomore year will be his one. He said, ain't nobody taking my spot. Slim, you talking about Ezeraku? Is that what we talking about? Yeah, Q and Quinny. I'm excited about them. I'm very excited about our defensive tackles. And let's not forget about Agent Zero. Hey, man, let me tell you something. If Demarion Overshown stays healthy, I believe he will be in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year. If Demarion Overshown stays healthy, I believe he will be in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year. And somebody asked earlier, why do these players go get David Mulugeta? Simple. Cash rules everything around them. I think that's the old song by, who's that, the Wu-Tang Clan? Cream. Cash rules everything around me. That's how a lot of these players roll. That's how they roll today, man. Cash rules everything around me. Yeah. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. Hope y'all like the topics that we picked. Man, I'm telling you, we're going to see what happens. But if this defense is what it is, you're going to hear that cry about Dak Prescott even more. People are going to be saying, Dak Prescott, they got you the defense. Now it's time to really do it. And I'm confident if the Cowboys will give Dak Prescott that defense, he's going to do his thing. I believe he is going to do his thing. Because I don't think this has actually been about Dak as much as it has been about them not putting this thing together. Special teams, offense, defense. You got to put together all three phases at the same time, not just one phase. Last year we were one phase, offense. This year we got to be two phases, offense, defense. Put Kevontae Turpin butt back there and let him return kicks and stop letting him play wide receiver. And let's get this doggone kick game going again. We got Brandon Aubrey, highest paid kicker in the league. Great field goal kicker. Let's go out here and dominate on all three phases of the game, man. I'm excited, man. Hey, guys, it's about to be May. Y'all know what that means. We're only about 4 months away from the season beginning. Minicamp, Oxnard in July. Before you know it, we'll be preseason in August and September, and it will be the football season. And talk will be cheap, and the Cowboys are going to have to put it on the field. I love it. I'm with you, Bernard Fields. Hey, man, I think they can reach the Super Bowl, even without a top 10, top 15 defense. If he could just get it to around 22-23, get it to around 22-23, they're going to win more games than they did last year. There's no doubt about it. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow, which is Friday. We're going to have more content. We'll figure out what it is, and we will have player videos dropping all day tomorrow. I'm going to try to at least drop about 3 player videos so that y'all can see kind of what we are working with these players. But again, I'm excited. Appreciate y'all. Best chat on YouTube. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys and we talk facts. Peace.